FM, online and BBC Sounds.
Football from Sports Sound
on BBC Radio Scotland.
Mike's on BBC Radio Scotland. A busy day ahead. We've had a lively old debate in the first hour there. We've got all the managers to you, brought you the important parts from the team news. Time now for the action to start. We'll also keep you updated on the Ryder Cup, of course. It's something a lot of us have been glued to over the past few days. We'll keep you updated on that. Oban's Bob McIntyre is playing in the morning foursomes alongside Victor Hovland. They are 2 up on Scotty Scheffler and Russell Henley. Europe certainly in command right now of the Ryder Cup out there just outside New York. Tom English and Billy Dodds alongside me here in the studio, just waiting, Tom, for the games to get underway. There are a lot. Billy touched on the ones he was looking forward to today. The commentary match, Celtic Hibs, Hearts Falkirk. Hearts could go top. Interest what Derek McInnes is trying to do just to dampen expectations. Dundee United, Jim Goodwin, a terrific job. Great recruitment. St Mirren, there's not much more we can say about Stephen Robinson, the job that he's doing.
Yeah, well, you look at, that's a lot there. Dundee United, the recruitment has been brilliant. I think is it 6 of the starting lineup are new players in the summer, which kind of gives a lie to the fact that it's very hard to integrate players. It is hard, but some managers can do it and some managers can't do it or aren't doing it. Jim Goodwin unquestionably is doing it. More than half his team are new. And they're doing extremely well. Dolchek is the player of the season for me so far, and he's been outstanding. And I'm looking forward to seeing Dundee United playing Kilmarnock. I would say it's a banker win for Dundee United, but Kilmarnock's record away from home, 1 win away in 15. Their home record, because of the pitch, in part, some would say in large part, is why they're in the league. But away from home, they have a long way to go. And listen, if they turn over Dundee United tonight, they'll make me look foolish. Wouldn't be that hard. Some people would argue, but I just see Dundee United have just got too much energy and too many goals. And
John Collins would love to see that happen.
John would be high-fiving Packy.
Yeah, he's here. He's happy. He's happy.
Well,
he's okay. He's concentrating the game, Tom. He's a football man.
What are you expecting for your game today, Pat?
Yeah, well, listen, I'm looking forward to this game. I want to see how Hibs play. Obviously, they've been struggling defensively, but they've got those 2 up front, Martin Boyle and Kieran Bowie, who's always a threat. Celtic started off, as we anticipated, Maeda over on the right-hand side. And let's see how they actually play also with Iniacho up front. Looking forward to the game.
I think there'll be a lot of eyes on Maeda today, won't there? Because he's not been himself, obviously. He didn't get the move away that he was hoping to get, his family were hoping to get. Moved over to the right-hand side from his natural left-hand side. It'll be interesting to see his energy levels, his enthusiasm levels today, won't it?
Yeah, I agree. And listen, he had an unbelievable season last year. And I just don't know, Tom, whether he was almost told that he would maybe get an opportunity to move. Japanese players' honour is a big thing, isn't it? And it didn't happen. Maybe whether that's down to himself or whether somebody else made a decision. And that has affected him. There's no doubt. There's absolutely no doubt.
Do you think it's affected Hattati as well? Because I don't think Hattati has been himself either.
No, he's injured today.
Yeah.
Listen, the Japanese players brought something special to the Celtic team, haven't they? Kyogo, Hattati, Maeda, all of those players. But when things aren't going well for them, then it's a difficult time. Different culture also, remember. They're here in Scotland.
It shows you, Pat, how rushed the signings were as well at the end, because you end up with 3 left wingers and you take your player who was the top player last season and have to put him in the right. We've put him as striker early in the season. He's not really firing, so it's affected Maeda as well, that side of it. But you take a gamble and you take your best player who's got all those goals.
Yeah, sorry for cutting across you here. I actually think there was a handball just inside the box from Obita. It was a cross from Tony Ralston, and I thought his arm, you could check it there, I thought his arm was up just inside the box.
His right arm looks up, Pat.
Ralston's certainly claiming for it, isn't he?
With first view, we'll get a closer look just now. When it comes to Engels, that's just a late tackler showing you, but then
it's come away.
But when he turned his back, didn't he, Pat? And his right arm looked as if it was up. It's whether
but
it
there's been no shout,
and
and VAR hasn't kicked in. Whether it could kick in at any point in time, I'm not too sure. The ball has to go out of play, or can the referee stop it?
Yeah, we didn't get a replay of that on Pat. We've only got the one wee screen of the Celtic game right now. We're just going to have a closer look at that. So we'll bounce around there. Just bring you some early goals, actually. A few flying in already. Dunfermline 0, Partick Thistle 1. Tony Watt with that goal in the first minute. Ayr United 1, Airdrie 0, Ethan Walker on 3 minutes. And Annan 1, East Kilbride 0, Xander Craig on 3 minutes. Is that a wee chance somewhere?
Yeah, big chance again at Silly Park here. And Maeda this time getting into the byline, cuts it back. Ingles was the first to get a contact on it, and it just evades Iheanacho as he slid in. A decent chance for Celtic, you've got to say.
Right, let's bounce around the grounds. Let's get to Alan Preston. He's at Tynecastle this afternoon, expecting a fairly open and exciting game there, Al.
It's been a good start from Falkirk. They passed the ball very well. One of the Falkirk players down with a little head knock, but I've got to say, there was a minute's applause for the wonderful Jimmy Bone, who was sadly lost recently at Hearts. A wonderful player, made a big part in John Robertson's development when he was starting off. A real sad occasion for everyone involved at Hearts.
I tell you, he was a hard man. Just very quick, I remember playing a five-a-sides game up at the pits in Glasgow one night, and it just got a wee bit tasty in the first few minutes.
Please tell me he kicked you.
Well, no, what happened was the tackles started flying out, battering guys off the boards, right? And Jimmy was playing in the opposition, and Jimmy just picked the ball up, put it underneath his arm, and he whispered, said, "Oh, is it that sort of game?" Someone should have told me. He said, "I love that sort of game." And he was like a beast after that.
And you stayed away after.
Oh, well clear.
In my son, when he was starting off in secondary school playing football, Jimmy Bone was his coach.
Oh, great.
In Stirling. And he said that Jimmy Bone always used to shake their hand before they went out to play training, and afterwards. He thought that was really cool.
Oh, he's a great guy. I used to bump into Match up and Bannock on a wee pub up there.
Thistle, the tail end of my career for a few months, and so enthusiastic. Just wanted everybody to do well.
Fantastic guy.
I could tell you
And I think he was still coaching, wasn't he, up until recently?
He's still coaching the kids. In fact, at the funeral.
He's a good pal of yours, wasn't he, Chip?
Yeah, big pals. The kids had a guard of honour for him. For the body getting taken into the crematorium. It was very emotional, and what a turnout at that funeral. And we didn't really talk about it because some of the names of Scottish football, and there must have been I was inside, but there must have been a lot of people locked out because what a turnout to honour a genuinely. I mean, Jimmy just lived, loved and breathed football at every level. I remember one time a chance for Irish County here. He actually got me. St Mirren opened the game. They opened the ground down at Girvan. And I took a team down, and he got me on as a sub and dribbled past about 8 players along the byline for me to get a tap in. So I'm eternally grateful for Jimmy Bone.
That's a good friend.
Can I just double check you did tap it in?
Yeah, well, you know, if you'd been my manager, I'd probably missed it.
Just to get me the sack.
A good idea.
Ayr United are absolutely flying. 2-0 up at home to Airdrie. Mark McKenzie with the second goal there inside 6 minutes. Let's continue our journey around the grounds. Let's get to Tannadice. Dundee United at home to Kilmarnock. What's happening there, Rory, in the early stages?
Well, Kilmarnock currently have a corner. It seems to have been an age before it actually gets taken due to some fighting in the box, but Thompson is going to deliver it in now, and it's cleared. Dundee United have probably been ever so slightly brighter. It's been a little bit scrappy, in all honesty. Liam Polworth got caught in the middle of the pitch by Will Ferry. He ran through, but Polworth recovered. Other than that, not a lot of chances. A little bit scrappy. Still 0-0.
Right, next stop, Paisley. St Mirren at home to Dundee. Chris Doolan is there for us this afternoon. What's happening there, Chris?
Hi Kenny, good start from both sides. I think, as you would expect, St Mirren being the home side, controlling most of the possession, taking most of the territory, but Dundee have actually just forced a corner there which didn't come to anything, but both sides showing that they want to attack. It'll be interesting today, the two shapes going up against each other. You've got Dundee's 4-3-3 going up against St Mirren's 3-5-2, so whoever can hold their nerve in this game probably comes out on top, but a really interesting start from both sides.
Yeah, Chick's down at Capello for us. Morton at home to Ross County. You were saying earlier on, Chick, it's been a very slow start for Tony Docherty there.
Yeah, I mean, and you look at the statistics of the league placings of these two teams, and Morton have drawn 6 of their first 7 games, remarkably. Seven games, sorry, seven draws and one loss out of their first 8 games, and and Ross County haven't won a game either. So neither of these teams got a win between them. Ross County have had the better of it in this opening spell. They've got a free kick just outside the box at the moment. It's going to be just whipped in with a bit of pace. That's a great ball. That could be headed over the crossbar. Yeah, it's so something's got to give. You would think here, and Tony Docherty desperately needs to get this show on the road. I mean, we talked about that, Kenny, about them being among the favourites to win the championship. 16 points behind at this stage of the season is remarkable. They're not going to catch St Johnstone in that, so their playoff place is the best of their ambitions, but at the moment I'm sure concentrating and just avoiding the drop, to be honest with you.
It's incredible, isn't it, Billy, because you know that club, you were discussing them earlier on, and we know the money that Roy McGregor puts into that football club, and I think the general consensus was they'd signed very well in the summer, certainly a lot of experience,
big names around Scottish football. You can sometimes buy like too old at times. You get that feeling where they play the game with their head instead of getting about the pitch. I'm not saying that everyone that they've signed like that, but you can buy in bulk sometimes, and it damages you rather than helps you. And I think I think that's what's happened to Ross County this season. I fancied them for promotion. I fancied them to win the league, but it doesn't look like that now. Sorry, Al.
There's a chance at the back post for Hearts. It was Mullen. Good play by Kizaridis. Rolls it back to Kingsley. Lovely cross. Back post, and there's Mullen at the back with the header just wide of the target.
Well, chance for Morton at the other end. It's been all county. Morton got the part there. Ball whipped in from the right hand side, and just I think it was uncommon of all people get in there and just got a touch in that. Just gone by, and back has been rescued for a corner kick.
Some goals going in elsewhere. Crystal Palace 1, Liverpool 0. A potential shock in the cards there. Sarr with that goal on 9 minutes. There was one early kick-off down in England. Brentford 3, Manchester United 1. And another goal going in Scotland. What a flying start for Partick Thistle as well. 2-0 up away at Dunfermline. Logan Chalmers with that goal on 10 minutes. Alan, what are you expecting from your team this season? I mean, it's an interesting position, isn't it, for Derek McInnes? He has been trying just to sort of play everything down, hasn't he?
He has been, yeah. Also, it's been a good start, but that's all it is, as he rightfully says. It's just a start. Disappointing in the League Cup to go out on penalties to St Mirren, but in the league they've been good. I think now playing a back four helps them, although McEntee's not a natural right back, so I think they might look at. I know they've got one, Borkovic, that they've got that's been injured, but he played in a bounce match, so we'll see. Just we say Braga goes through here, he's going wide, so we'll see how they go. So I think maybe in January that they may look at try to bring in a right back, but they still need to offload players as well. An interesting season, Kenny. Tony Bloom certainly set the cat amongst the pigeons when he came up, and at the moment they're living up to it just now, but long way to go.
What do you think, Tom? It's going to be a fascinating story, a fascinating watch this season, isn't it, Hearts?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm gripped by the whole Hearts story. The squad that Derek McInnes has assembled. McInnes knows what he's doing. The options that they have, the front two that they have. The fact that Ajew, disappointing that he's got his hamstring injury. I think we haven't seen much of him yet, but he looks very good. An awful lot with the Tony Bloom money, with the analytics, Jamestown analytics. Huge amount of positivity going around Hearts at the moment. It's a decent team, a decent Hearts team, and you think we're kind of pre-programmed to thinking, well, there's no way any team can go the distance and split the old firm. Maybe it's going to happen at some stage, and maybe this is the year, because Hearts on paper and in reality look a much better team than Rangers right now.
They do, Billy, don't they? I mean, no.
I'm a wee bit in disagreement with Tom that it's going to happen at some point, because I think
at some point in history we might be gone.
We'll be well gone. No, but you see last year when Aberdeen started to well, I know we keep on going back to that, but Rangers weren't at their best and still finished well above them in second. It's just the squad depth, it's the money spent, and that's what propels you up the league. And I still expect Rangers to climb the league at some point, probably finish second. I don't see them winning it, but the longer it goes with Rangers and they don't start getting results, then maybe Hearts will finish second.
Annan Athletic 2, East Kilbride 0. Paul Smith with the second goal on 12 minutes. Peterhead 1, Alloa 0. Max Barry on 10 minutes. There are a lot of Scottish Cup first round ties today. We'll give you the half-time and the full-time scores on that. See some of the journeys taking place today. Absolutely incredible. Berwick Rangers against Nairn County, 468
that's maddening.
mile trip. Glenafton against Invergordon, 464 miles. I think, Billy, one you've got away on Darvel. What was the game you were talking about earlier on?
Glenafton,
Invergordon.
Glenafton, Invergordon.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of friends that Gary Campbell manages. Not you, Chick. Don't worry about it.
I think it's
You are my wee mucker.
Madness that these
Gary Campbell manages Invergordon, and he travels to my hometown club Glenafton today in East Ayrshire.
Do you, you say madness? Do you think it should be regionalised? That was,
Yeah,
is that not
I do,
tell me
yeah.
about the magic of the cup?
No, nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Tom.
Did you never watch
Nonsense,
Chick in the Scottish Cup when he did all his travels around the country many years
Yeah,
ago?
absolutely.
Not in the cup.
You don't understand then. You don't understand the magic of the cup if you say that.
Chick,
And
you
let me
understand
tell
the
you,
words
the
not in the
BBC sent me
Chick, not in the
round the
cup.
country to go and do
He's not
these
listening,
games.
is he?
They
It was
discovered.
great. It was great.
I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about within this league
Don't
structure.
rile my grumpy little friend,
Within the
will
league
you?
structure, I've been in my bonnet about this for years.
Right.
These clubs that have got no money and they're travelling up and down the country every week, it's lunacy.
What, are you
Not
talking
in
about the Scottish
Chick.
Cup?
Not in the cup.
Well, we were talking about the Scottish Cup, were we not?
Yeah, we were, but I just made a
just
separate
changed the
Right, Chick. You're right, Chick. He quickly reversed, Chick.
I
Get
thought I had
John
this.
Collins back on. He'll sort him out.
Jeez, I must
We were talking
misunderstood
about
this
the Scottish
programme.
Cup, and it's the magic of the cup. We either have a national competition or we don't, and it's national leagues are like that as well. We have, I know you wouldn't believe this, but I'm actually a member of a rugby club, but that's for out reasons.
No, I believe
that's
it, Chick.
alcoholic reasons,
Not
nothing
for
to do with the
rugby,
game.
I've seen the stadium.
Yeah, and I tell you what, that they play in a league and they play against Orkney, and they go up there once a year, once a season. They've been this year. But the thing about Orkney, they've got to travel every second week to play in a national league, and I think that's what a national league is. You either do it or you don't. As soon as you regionalise it, it's a different thing altogether.
I think in terms of leagues, you regionalise it and then you have a knockout nationally.
Why did you not say that at the start?
Nah, listen, he gets there eventually. Right? Manchester City won, Burton
Penalty,
thanks to the steady own goal.
definitely.
Yes, Chick.
That is a penalty kick to Ross County. It was Scott Fraser who was absolutely sliced. He's down on the floor right away. I saw it. The referee, who is Dan McFarlane, points to the spot, and Ross County have a chance to go ahead at Capello.
And they badly need it, so Chick will shout out as soon as that penalty kick is taken. Let's get back to Celtic Park. Pat Bonner is there for us. What's happening there, Pat?
Yeah, listen, Celtic dominating the play as we would expect, controlling the game, passing it around, but trying to get a few balls into the box at times hasn't really caused Hibs any problems. Tony Rawson had a shot well over the crossbar. Hibs, I think, only once that I in this game so far that they've got into the Celtic half and created anything with a weak cross into the hands of Schmeichel. So Celtic dominating but not creating enough chances with their domination.
Right, back to Capello, Chick.
Yeah, chance to get ahead here for Ross County. It's going to be taken right-footed, and goalkeeper got a hand in that, but it's in the back of the net, and it's Ronan Hale with another goal for Ross County. There was only one man ever taking that penalty kick, right-footed. The goalkeeper got a hand to it. A little bit unlucky was James Storer, but it's Ross County are ahead, and again the goal scorer Ronan Hale.
He's a good player, isn't he, Dozzy?
Yeah, a lot of clubs, Premiership clubs, looking at him and maybe probably try to take him as well, but Roy McGregor and Ross County have managed to hang on to him. He's going to be valuable and try to get him up that league with the amount of goals he's capable of scoring, Kenny.
Oh, good hit.
Yes,
good
Alan.
save. Stuart Finlay, someone you wouldn't expect. It's a nice move by Hearts. Goes to Finlay, 25 yards out in the left foot. Good hit, good save. Scott Bain diving down to his right, way for a corner.
Alan, what are you expecting from Falkirk this season? Do you think they've got enough to stay up?
I worry because a lot of these players played in Division 1, but they've started well. You know, they scored goals, Kenny, and they have so far in every league game. So, and I think once they get one or two more in to help the cause, I think it'll be difficult. I think they'll be there or thereabouts at the bottom part of the league. Is a Braga header, good save again by Bain. So I think they will have enough to stay up, but I think it's going to be tight.
Rory, your thoughts on your former club?
Yeah, I said a couple of weeks ago I thought they'd be fine, and Tom English said, well, if they're going to be fine, then who's going to be struggling? And it's a valid point. The league, it's very difficult, especially with Dundee picking up a few points to try and call. But I just think the way they play football and that momentum from the last couple of seasons, I do agree with what's been said there. Alan's saying there, I think they will stay up, but I don't think it'll be comfortable, shall we say, but I think they'll have enough to do it.
But you're right. Who's going to go down then? If everyone's going to stay up.
Tom. It's difficult, isn't it?
It's tough right now.
It is tough.
Because Dundee's showing a bit of life.
The team with the hardest job in the Scottish football.
What did you make of that?
Well, that's Gordon Strachan. That's not Stephen Presley. It's got to be said. That was Gordon Strachan said that.
But I mean,
so let's not label Stephen Presley with that one.
No, but okay, let's talk about the
I don't
statement.
agree with it. I don't agree with it at all.
There's a Mr. Talene on the line. And a Mr. Martin on hold.
Yes.
Blame the board, Tom.
But it's interesting, Pat, isn't it? Because I remember interviewing Ange Postecoglou so many times, and he said, it's not just about the player, it's about the personality. That's what he was saying, the person. And he was obviously meaning there about being able to deal with the pressures of playing for an old firm club.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I talk about it all the time. You can get a player with ability, you can get all of those things, but you don't know how they're going to react to the pressure. And here, listen, Celtic, Rangers, those clubs, as pressure week in, week out. Not a draw. You've got to win games. You can't lose points. Look at, if Celtic won today, they could go 12 points ahead of Rangers after 5-6 games. Incredible. And that's the pressure you've got to deal with. How do you see that within the eyes of a player unless you work with them? That's the problem. And you can do all your due diligence. You can get all of the information you can until they step into the Lions' den. That's where it matters.
I think that applies, Packy, as well to not just the players and the manager in a football club at Rangers or Celtic. I think you need special people to run a club, and I think however much we point the finger at Russell Martin and debate
Here's
him.
a chance. Sorry, Jake. Maeda's through on the right hand side. He cuts it back for Iheanacho hits the crossbar. He must score from that position from 6 yards out. He's got to get over the ball, and he hits it off the crossbar and away to safety. But it was that quick dart and run from Maeda down the right hand side, past the defence, cuts it back brilliantly. Big miss.
If you're going to interrupt, make sure it's for a goal.
But that he looked back to his old self there, Billy, didn't he? That was great play from Maeda.
Yeah, it was just first time ball in. Once he gets in that wide area, he's better just miss-hitting it and concentrating and keeping it down in the actual. If he does that and bundles it, he probably scores. He catches it, he's sloping back the way a little bit, and from about 6 yards he hits it against the top of the crossbar. It's a poor miss.
Inverness Caley Thistle 1, East Fife 0. David Wotherspoon on 17 minutes. Peterhead now 2-0 up against Alloa. Kieran Shanks on 19. Yes, Inverness.
Yeah, but there's one that was going to be a tough job out of administration. Hamilton Accies not allowed to sign players, sign and ban. Surely their jobs are tough.
I can think of another, the toughest job in football. Kenny Mack tried to control us every Saturday.
Oh, listen, I just let you go for it.
Speak for yourself.
Tommy's getting well paid. And he won't get the sack.
Do you notice, Pat, he didn't argue with you with that one, he just laughed?
No, it's too funny. It's really too funny. But Peterhead 2, Alloa 0, Kieran Shanks on 19 minutes. What I'll do, I'll round up all the goals for now, get the latest scores, and then we'll go bounce around the grounds and get a bit more context on the guys. So Celtic 0, Hibs 0, Dundee United 0, Kilmarnock 0, Hearts 0, Falkirk 0, St Mirren 0, Dundee 0. 5:45 start. Should be a belter. Motherwell at home to Aberdeen. Full.
And just let me say, Kenny, I've done my bit this week. I've been looking after Willie. I've been on touch with Willie Muller every day. Make sure he's all right.
What have you been sending? I can only imagine.
He told me you were texting him the other night. Biscuits, yes.
I've seen some of the stuff. I've seen some of it. Alan's been sharing it. Yeah.
God, so you know, it's like you've got to look after your pals.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
You're so thoughtful.
What a goal that is! Kizaridas from 30 yards right in the top bin. Scott Bain, absolutely no chance. Pick that one out. What a goal that is!
Sensational. Tom.
An amazing strike. Absolutely thunderous drive. Looks unstoppable at first watch. But you're right, top corner. Wow.
Yeah, but he beats a few players first as well, so he's on the run, and to control that strike with the curl and to his pinpoint right into that top corner.
He's been brilliant since he's come into the club. Honestly, he's been different class. Really, really good.
That's our first goal in the top flight this afternoon. So Hearts 1, Falkirk 0. As I was saying, 5:45 start.
What a goal.
Yeah. Motherwell at home to Aberdeen. You can watch that one on Sports Scene this evening. Let's go into the Championship. Ayr United 3, Airdrie 0, Mark McKenzie with the second goal of the game there. Dunfermline Athletic 0, Partick Thistle 2, Morton 0, Ross County 1. Chick telling us that Ronan Hale penalty. Queen's Park 0, St Johnstone 0, Wraith Rovers 0, Arbroath 0. Into League One, Cove Rangers 0, Kelty Hearts 1. Cove have had a dreadful start to the season. Hamilton Accies 0, Stennismuir 0, Inverness Cally Thistle 1, East Fife 0. What a job Scott Kelleher is doing up there. Montrose 0, Queen of the South 0, Peterhead 2, Alloa Athletic 0. And into League 2, Annan Athletic 2, East Kilbride 0, Dumbarton 0, Stranraer 0, Edinburgh City 0, Forfar Athletic 0, Elgin City 0, Spartans 0, Stirling Albion 0, Clyde 0. We'll bring you all the latest scores from the first round of the Scottish Cup at half-time, and of course the full-time scores for you. As I was saying earlier, some really lengthy journeys for clubs up and down the land this afternoon. Let's get to the game at Tannadice. Rory Loy is here for us. What's happening, Rory?
Yeah, not a lot. I really enjoyed the first 15 minutes of the game, I have to say. Both sides playing well. Kilmarnock gave the ball away in the middle of the pitch a couple of times, and Dundee United attacked. I come up here today really looking forward to seeing Sapsford and Dolchek. However, they've been a little bit quiet. Billy, I know you've seen a lot of Dundee United to this point this season. Panucci Kamara has been by far and away the best player on the pitch, Billy.
Love him. Reminds me a bit of Mo Sillett was at Dundee. Similar type, getting about the pitch, breaking things up and just making simple passes, but effective, Rory.
Drive forward as well, Billy, as well. It's composed when he gets
Chance
it,
St Mirren.
Still 0-0.
Yes, take it away.
Just a wee chance at St Mirren there, Kenny. The game's been quite stop-start up until this point. A long throw comes in. Phillips comes out and takes a long throw. It gets popped to the edge of the box, and it's Gogic that steps on for about 20 yards and strikes it, keeps it low. But it's well saved by McCracken. But that's the first real opportunity of the game.
What have you made of Dundee so far? Because a lot of people, and I can understand it, Chris, feeling for them this season it could be a real struggle. What have you made in the early stages up there at Paisley?
Yeah, early stages, like I said, the game's a bit stop-start. Probably in the first 15 minutes or so, St Mirren controlled the majority of it. For a wee 10-minute spell there, Dundee did start to come back into it. They looked to keep turning St Mirren down the sides.
Whoa, right.
Bruce Anderson with a magnificent finish. It was really well worked. David Watson picks up lovely position between the midfield and the defence of Dundee United, plays it into Bruce Anderson, and he does what he's all about. Low, right-footed strike, bottom corner. Dundee United 0, Kilmarnock 1.
You can never predict Scottish football, can you?
No, it's brilliant one-touch football from Kelly. I mean, just firing it, one pass laid off, and then he just takes it across the body. I don't know if it goes through the defender's legs, but the goalkeeper doesn't see it. Such a brilliant strike from Anderson, arrowed away into the far corner. A brilliant all-round goal.
Hamilton Accies 1, Stennismuir 0, Ollie Shaw on 25 minutes. Chelsea 1, Brighton 0, Enzo Fernandez on 24. Just confirmation. A wonderful goal from Kizaridis for Hearts. 1-0 up at home to Falkirk. Watch that one on Sports Scene this evening. Alloa back in it away at Peterhead. It's now Peterhead 2, Alloa 1. That goal coming from Stephen Buchanan on 24 minutes. Leeds United 0, Bournemouth 1, Semenyo on 26. And just confirmation, Bruce Anderson also in 26 minutes. Dundee United 0, Kilmarnock 1. Let's then get back to Pat Bonner at Celtic Park. So far, so good for Hibs there. They're holding out, Pat.
Yeah, they're holding out, but Celtic are kind of again dominating. I've got to say, and Tom asked a question about Maeda, a big day for him. I think he's been really effective in this first opening, 26 minutes down this right hand side. Here's a corner, swung in there, and it's sort of almost headed away. There'll be a stoppage in play here. There's somebody down with a head knock, but I think he's done really well. A lot of plays come down his side, and he's shown good movement, and he looks as if he's very comfortable. I think he's more comfortable in those wide areas anyway, because he's able to make that run inside. He's able to get to the ball when it comes to him, and use that pace. When he's up front, I'm not sure if he's making the right decisions. Billy, you know what it's like up front. You've got to be clever, especially if you're playing up there on your own.
Absolutely, you've got to get your team up the pitch as well. So if you're not holding the ball up and using it well and keeping possession, then you're not doing your job properly. There's a lot of focus on the front players and the striker, especially to get your team up the pitch.
Yeah, it's just Kieran Bowie that's down there at Celtic Park, just at a knock when that corner came in.
Yeah, just on the Hibs. Hibs haven't really progressed up the pitch. They've tried to build from actually goal kicks, where they actually suck Celtic in a little bit, taking obviously Grant Hanley in the team, taking on that experience, and then they sucked him in, and then they play it up to Kieran Bowie, and hoping that they're going to get higher up the pitch into a little bit of space. But that's been really all they've been able to achieve in this game so far from an attacking perspective.
They need to hang in there now, Hibs. You know, we know all about their record of conceding goals late in the first half. I think it's seven goals conceded between the 42nd minute and half time. They need to dig in.
Yeah, another chance for Iheanacho. Broke him in the middle of the pitch, and he cuts in on that sort of almost left foot and just bends, and he really should have done better. He's well over the crossbar in a really good position, at least test the goalkeeper.
Hibs giving the ball away in a bad position, and they nick it, and when any actual gets there, he's only thinking one thing, just to bend in that far corner, but clips it over.
It was interesting, Bill. We were in here on Tuesday night, and we heard John McGlynn saying he told his players, he said Hibs are very, very weak.
And the players feel that.
Just before the break, and that got right back in it, didn't it?
We're talking about managers earlier on, but players and managers both feel when your team are leaking goals, you know when you're vulnerable, and you know when you've got to tighten up. And yeah, for Hibs to win games, they're going to have to defend better, and that was a big positive last year. You struggled to score against Hibs. They were really good defensively.
Yeah, it was interesting. Last year, did they not change from a back four to a back three, and that actually helped them defensively, because he's really struggled. But now they're actually going with a back three, you could say a back five, and they're still leaking goals.
Yeah, he certainly said it's a concern, didn't he?
Just to flip it back to Iheanacho.
Another chance for St Mirren, Kenny, as well. The two strikers combining, the two big giants up. I'd hate to be a centre-back for Dundee. The two big giants of a younger and Mandron are an absolute handful, and it was a direct ball up the pitch. It was flicked on by by Mandron, sorry. A younger gets on to it, hits it in his left foot, but McCracken gets down to his left-hand post and saves.
That was a chance elsewhere.
Yeah, another big chance. Well, a great chance. I wouldn't say it was a chance that you would expect. Sarchi down the left-hand side comes to him, and he just pulls the trigger, and it just scrapes the top of the crossbar, and really with the pace he had on it, that was the only way he's going to beat the goalkeeper. It was a good strike, I've got to say.
Yeah, hits the crossbar from Srirachi. It's good, very good effort. Celtic look really alive here.
They do.
They're running amok. I know it's only 1-0, but it could be 2 or 3. And Maeda, you're right, Pat, he's working very, very hard. Iheanacho, I don't think Iheanacho's still fit. He can't be fit, but when this guy gets fit, I think they're going to have a really tremendous player on their hands, because he's looking sharp enough as it is. But once he gets another month into his legs, wow, I think this guy could score a lot of goals.
And just to correct you, it's 0-0.
0-0.
It's 0-0.
Oh, sorry, 0-0. Sorry,
some game down at Somerset Park. Ayr United 3, Airdrie 1. McGrattan pulling a goal back for the away side there. Just a reminder, 5:45 start. It should be some game at Fir Park this evening. Motherwell at home to Aberdeen. Wee chance.
Free kick for Morton. They've not been in this game, Kenny. It's been all Ross County, but remember County leading by a goal to 0. But Eamon Brophy with a free kick. He's maybe 25 yards out, or skidding in at the goalkeeper's left-hand post. And to be fair, Trevor Caston, of course, now the goalkeeper for Ross County, gets down to his left side and just turns that round the post. Best thing to do on a greasy surface. Still 1-0 to the County.
Right, let's get back to Tynecastle. A very positive start from Hearts there, Alan.
It has been, yeah, and Hearts have been playing very well, Kenny. Some lovely stuff. When that action was going on elsewhere, Braga had an effort. They had a lovely flick at the Casaridis, who returned it back to him, and he had a shot just over the top of the crossbar. He should have done better with that, actually. Falkirk not really posed any concern for Hearts so far. We're 32 minutes on the clock, whereas Hearts 1, Falkirk 0.
Alan, we've spoken quite a lot. Yourself and Tom had a discussion about the amount of changes that Derek McInnes was making, particularly actually at half-time, as he was trying to find his best formation, his best team. How close do you think he is to that?
I think once he gets a right back, he won't be far away. I think Milne might go back to left back, which would mean Kingsley dropping out, but Kingsley's done really well in the last couple of games. McEntee will want to get in the middle of the park as well, so I don't think he's that far away. But a flat 4 for me is better, because what that does do is brings wingers in, as we've seen today with Casaridis with a brilliant goal. And I know Keelan Adams getting really a lot of praise, and rightly so. He's been brilliant, but he's getting the run around this afternoon for Casaridis. He's just taking them at the byline and won another corner.
How does he like to play, Derek McInnes, Billy? What would his ideal formation
I think he's versatile. I really do. You see at Aberdeen, Aberdeen and Kilmarnock, he could switch a back 5 into a 4 at times and vice versa. He was really good at that. When one full back attack, he still had that back 4 intact if they were a 5. I think he can do either or, and he's proved for a long time that he gets results with playing with either formation.
I think it's an interesting one, that because see, just watching the games, I like watching a manager. I think even like Neil Lennon, see the Friday night game last weekend, the St Johnstone game, they were getting battered up there, but he changed it, Lennon, and they got themselves into the game. And I like watching them in-game changes. I think it's really fascinating to watch. And you're talking about Ibrox. I wonder if that's something that Russell Martin doesn't do enough of.
Well, maybe, but we're talking about Derek McInnes, and at Ibrox he went a narrow 4-4-2 and played on the counter attack, so he can play formations that he knows which will suit some games. If you're at Ibrox or Parkhead, where you have to sit in deep and then try to counter attack, and they did that. So it's not just we go to a back 5. I mean, even in a 4 he can be solid defensively and still a threat going forward.
I think Doddsy playing a flat 4, as I said earlier, that allows him to get width into his team and out wingers and Kazaridas. And the other lad
chance Dundee United should have equalised. Help me out, Doddsy. It's somebody right at the back post, big centre back. I think he's trying to get on the end of it, and I think he should find the back of the net. He's under pressure, don't get me wrong, but I think he should do better there.
Seve, I think.
Seve,
yeah,
decent chance.
Yeah, he's under pressure when he gets the header and he just knocks it wide. I mean, it's a good run. Should maybe do better. He just kind of turns his head at the last moment and knocks it wide. Is it another corner? Because
no, it's a goal kick. I tell you what, I've seen another side of David Watson.
Maybe do better. Yeah.
I like David Watson, Kenny. I really do. I always had him down as a box to box, all action, but he's picking up some really intelligent positions, and then when he does pick the ball up, really intelligent passes as well. So you can see he's maturing all the time as a player, and he's been a thorn in the side of Dundee United. So Kilmarnock still leading 1-0. Yeah,
I've spoken about it a few times in the programme, Rory. It's just going to be one that's interesting to watch how he develops. No doubt there's plenty of talent and ability there.
Is he not the kind of player, you talked earlier on about Rangers going and wasting money and buying average foreign players. Why are they not plucking people like David Watson and other players around the country and selecting a team?
Well, Chick, I know Billy's spoken about this before. Billy, you did have several players that played in Scotland identified.
You get, we're saying the same thing. You get a bit fed up, but
you did.
We even when Dick Advocat was in charge, I always go back to, they still had Scott Wilson, Neil McCann, Bob Malcolm, Stephen Hughes, myself, Barry Ferguson himself. They still had that Scottish core. We, if we were given the opportunity, we would have probably tried to go back to that.
Yeah, there have been a few names.
Why you have your sprinkling other?
Of course, getting the balance, isn't it? Elgin City 1, Spartans 0. Ross Draper with that goal. Elsewhere, there's another one coming in. I think East Kilbride were back in it. Yeah, Jamie Hamilton in 31 minutes. And Athletic 2, East Kilbride 1. So in the top flight this afternoon, Celtic 0, Hibs 0, Dundee United 0, Kilmarnock 1, Hearts 1, Falkirk 0, St Mirren 0, Dundee 0. 5:45 start. Full commentary to come. Motherwell at home to Aberdeen. In the Championship, Ayr United 3, Airdrie 1, Dunfermline Athletic 0, Partick Thistle 2. It was a flying start from Thistle. Morton 0, Ross County 1, Ronan Hale with a penalty, Queen's Park 0, St Johnstone 0, Wraith Rovers 0, Arbroath 0, and in League 1, Cove Rangers 0, Kelty Hearts 1, Hamilton Accies 1, Stennismuir 0, Inverness Cali Thistle 1, East Fife 0, Montrose 0, Queen of the South 0, Peterhead 2, Alloa 1. Chance
for Morton to equalise. The beginning just turned the tide a little bit of the tone, and good forward play there, and the ball whipped in from the left hand side. It was played right across. I thought it was going to sneak in at the goalkeeper's left hand post. Just went past the post, Kenny, so it's still 1-0 to County.
And Athletic 2, East Kilbride 1, Dumbarton 0, Stranraer 0, Edinburgh City 0, Forfar Athletic 1, Elgin City 1, Spartans 0, Stirling Albion 0, Clyde 0. I'll run through all the Scottish Cup tie latest scores for you at half time. Pat, what sort of atmosphere is there at Celtic Park? No, there was talk of more protests again today.
No, it was fine. The crowd are waiting for the goal, actually, because they've dominated the game here, absolutely dominated the game, and just controlling it. They have made a couple of very, very good chances, a couple of half chances. There was a chance for Maeda, a little ball dinked over the top. He just failed to get enough connection and strength on a header. Goalkeeper easy save, but they've just dominated. So the crowd are just waiting for that for that maybe first goal, and
Well,
then it'll take off.
It may come, Bill, in the next 5 minutes, because as a Hibs player, we're now into that territory that John McGlynn identified, and David Gray is it in players' heads?
Yeah.
On you go, Pat.
Yeah, go on. No, I'm just saying that there's a substitution here for Hibs. Jamie McGrath, who's been in the wars, he's been down a couple of times. They've just taken him off. I think it's Josh Campbell that's gone on to replace him.
You do think about it, but you get phases of the game. I've spoken to you many a time where you get through it. It gives you that confidence. What you get at half time, 0-0, make Celtic start thinking about it. So if they can see it through at half time, they'll be pretty happy, Hibs, to come out, and maybe they know they'll create a chance within the game, and if they can keep it nice and secure, then you never know, they might go and nick it.
Queen's Park 0, St Johnstone 1. Kai Fotheringham on 37 minutes. Saints rampant at the top of the championship table. Let's get to the game at Tannadice. Dundee United at home to Kilmarnock this afternoon. Rory Loy is there for us. Kelly, good value for their lead there, Rory?
Yeah, I would say so. I think they've been more effective in the final third, is what I would say.
A really good strike from Callum McGregor. Sorry, Rory. Just laid back into his path from Iheanacho, and he strikes it absolutely with brilliant pace. Just unfortunate for him, it was straight at the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper punches it. I think he punches it away, Billy, doesn't he?
He does. It's straight at him. I mean, it's sweetly struck, there's no doubt, but he's got to make sure he's saving that.
I love his technique, the way he sort of cuts across the ball. That was a really nice strike there from the Celtic captain. Let's get back then to Rory Loy at Tannadice.
Yes, indeed. Dundee United have been off the pace, out with the first 15 minutes. I don't think Jim Goodwin's particularly pleased. Kilmarnock have done really, really well. They've shored Dundee United's attacks up, and they've attacked well themselves, so probably good value for the 1-0 lead.
What a save that is!
Yes,
brilliant
Alan.
again from Hearts. Really good move, one end to the other. Shankland to Mount. He whips it in. There's Kazaridas at the back post, stretches the leg down. What a save from Scott Bain.
Ayr United 4, Airdrie 1. Jamie Murphy with that goal on 39 minutes. Burnley have equalised with Man City. Jayden Anthony on 38 minutes. Let's get to the game in Paisley. St Mirren up against Dundee and get the latest from Chris Doolan.
We've just got a quick stoppage just now, Kenny. Wesley's down injured. He's just given a chance for both teams to go over and get some words of advice for both managers. I think St Mirren will probably be the happier of the side so far. The last 10-15 minutes they've really turned the screw in Dundee. They just can't find that opener, but they are threatening. Dundee looking to hit them more so in the counter-attack, but struggling to really build too much into the game. But it certainly looks like St Mirren are going to take this and push for the next 5-10 minutes to the end of this first half.
Kenny just another piling on the pressure. Another couple of really good efforts from the first one. It was Maeda and really should have scored. It comes to him, he tries to volley it and is blocked, and there was nobody on him, and all he do is just keep his concentration and try and put it into the corner. And then the second one, and Iheanacho again strikes around left foot at the goalkeeper, and he pulls off
St Mirren!
Yes. A TV save.
1-0 St Mirren, Kenny. Fantastic down the left hand side. It's Idowu gets in the box, just in that wee half space. He cuts the ball back. I think it's a Younga it goes to. He then cuts it back again, and Phillips. It's a left-footed drive into the left side. 1-0 St Mirren.
Alan Preston.
2-0 Hearts. Lawrence Shankland, he wins the ball off the centre half. Just nudges him out of the way, and from 25 yards smashes it in the bottom corner. Hearts 2, Falkirk 0.
Some strike again, Alan. I mean, he just
brilliant.
That's like one of your golf shots, just sweet, isn't it? Right along the deck. But it's a great strike, and going back, I think it's Killian Phillips who gets the final touch. Chris, once it's cut back, it's struck, and then he's just a midfield run in the box.
Yeah.
He's been a good signing for them, Killian Phillips. He's a key player now for Saints.
Strong, a driving force. Not scared to go to war with anybody. It doesn't matter who he's up against. I think he's been a top signing. I mean, he had his grounding up here at Aberdeen, but since he's gone to St Mirren, he's really found his home.
Problem, Kenny, for Ross County here. It was Ross Docherty who went in. It was a bad challenge by him. He was booked for it, and then he just walked away from the field foul, and just sat down on the ground. He's had to go off. He's clearly injured himself and making that tackle. So Ross Docherty's off for Ross County. Jamie Lindsay has replaced him, and it's still 1-0 to the Highlanders.
Yeah, he's a terrible injury problem throughout his career. Ross
Docherty. His replacement, Jamie Lindsay, he's the same.
Yeah,
poor amount of injury. series and just can't get going at Ross County as yet.
Shanklin with that goal then in 41 minutes. Hearts 2, Falkirk 0, Stirling Albion 0, Clyde 1, Marley Redfern on 41 minutes. In confirmation, Killian Phillips on 39, St Mirren 1, Dundee 0. Pat, anything at all by way of an attacking threat from Hibs?
There was one small situation just about a minute ago, and it was that ball was played up the side of Liam Scales for Martin Boyle's pace. He got into a really good position, squared off Liam Scales and tried to sort of almost bend it around him and bend around the goalkeeper, but it took a deflection into Schmeichel's hands, and that's the threat. Celtic go and push the two full-backs right high, right to get involved in the play, and it's almost like a 2v2 at the back, sometimes a 1v1 at times, depending on where the other centre-half goes.
Oh, what touch!
That is their threat.
Oh, he's hit the post.
Rory.
Oh, Dundee United, the flags went up. It's Sapsford, lovely movement, a little flick over the defence, and he's in on goal. He should score, it hits the post. Interesting to see whether he was offside or not.
It's tight, Rory.
Yeah, but the flags went up, but he's not scored anyway, and it looks like Kilmarnock are going to lead 1-0 going into the break.
That'd be terrific if they can hang on up there, Billy. What a result that would be for Kelly. No problems on the road.
Yeah, Tom and yourself talking about that away form. He's just off, he's just leaning on the wrong side.
Yeah, look, I mean, they don't win, as I said earlier, they do not win often away from home. If they're to go to Dundee United and win, the Dundee United team is in really good form, that would be long way to go, but a great half for Kelly.
Nathan Austin has equalised for East Fife away Inverness Cally Thistle. That goal in 43 minutes. Just hearing the Hearts fans in good voice there, Alan. Another sellout at Tynecastle.
There's not a seat to be had. Falkirk really sold their end out as well. Their allocation, but it's been brilliant from Hearts. Really, really good. 11 shots at goal to Falkirk's 2. It's been total domination from the home side, and they played really well. Some nice one-touch stuff as well. Great to see the winger on Kizaridis. Mullen left-footed on the right-hand side.
Is he playing right midfield, Biscuits? Yeah, he did that at Ibrox. He was excellent. I mean, there's the kind of tweaks you're talking about Derek McInnes having, like whether it's a formation or who would have thought Harry Milne left back, Cove left back, Partick Thistle now playing in the right hand side of midfield. When I saw him Ibrox, he looked so comfortable.
But I think they've seen a weakness at the left back area. The Rangers are not big on down that left side. And McEntee and Milne, they're big lads and they're athletic as well, so I think Derek spotted a weakness there in that Rangers defence.
He did. He kicked on Milne because Magoma at left back is not the best in the air.
Queen's Park have equalised at home to St Johnstone. Josh Fowler with that goal on 43 minutes. So with half-time approaching, just a wee injury scare for Martin Boyle there at Celtic Park.
Yeah, it was one of... I didn't think it really was a foul. I thought Tony Rawson got the ball, but he's almost taken Martin Boyle out. But it's a big chance now. They can swing it. They haven't been in Celtic's box very often, I think once or twice in this first half. This is an opportunity for them. It'll be swung in on top of Schmeichel.
Yeah,
way to the back post, is headed back. Just tipped over the crossbar from, I think, I'm not sure who it was. Was it O'Hara? O'Hara, I think it was. Just really got in the end of it, and it just looped over the top of the crossbar.
Yellow card. It's just a ball into the corner. It's Liam Henderson against Shanklin. Shanklin's been brilliant again. Uses his body, just nudges Henderson out the way, and he's going into the box.
Half time at Tannadice, 1-0 Kilmarnock.
Really good play from Shanklin. Yellow card for Liam Henderson.
Thanks, Rory.
That's a horror.
Stirling Albion 0, Clyde 2. James Hilton with that goal on 45 minutes. So half time fast approaching right across the country. Remember, 5:45 start. Motherwell at home to Aberdeen. We'll hear from both managers later in the programme. Celtic 0, Hibs 0, Dundee United 0, Kilmarnock 1, Hearts 2, Falkirk 0, St Mirren 1, Dundee 0. And in the Scottish Championship, Ayr United 4, Airdrie 1, Dunfermline 0, Partick Thistle 2. The Powers now down to 10 men. Morton 0, Ross County 1, Queen's Park 1, St Johnstone 1, and Wraith Rovers 0, Arbroath 0. What have you made?
Yeah, we've got another injury worry here actually, and it's going to be another change. It's Cammy McPherson. The play was up into the Ross County half of the park. Cam McPherson just stood motionless and just outside his own 18-yard box. I'm not concerned about him actually, but I think what he's done is popped his shoulder, so the changes had to be made. He's going to come off. Cammy Blues has come on to replace him, so there'll be a fair old amount of time added on to this game with the two major stoppages. Morton getting forward here, ball just cleared away from the 6-yard box. Still 1-0 to County Kenny, but there'll be a fair bit of time added on, I think.
Right, Chick, I'll keep us posted on that one also. Just approaching half-time at Celtic Park. Part of the pictures coming into the studio. Quite a frustrating first half for the Celtic fans.
Very much so, because they've dominated the game, and then it just shows you O'Hara nearly getting the goal for Hibs, and that's what can happen when it's 0-0. If you don't put the ball in the back of the net, or you don't create enough chances for all the good play you have, Hibs will always get that big chance, and that was one right just before half time. But it looks like it's going to end up and that's it, half time here, 0-0.
It's interesting, Tom, isn't it? Because we know that the issues around Celtic, there's been the fan protests, etc. Brendan Rodgers has had a lot to say, and they're far from their vintage best, but still it's been a very good league campaign so far, hasn't it?
Yeah, in terms of results, in terms of performances, I don't think it's been great.
No.
I think they were fortunate enough to get the win in Kilmarnock. They've dominated this game, hit the crossbar a couple of times. They look fine, but they still haven't penetrated. So I think they have certain issues, the Celtic team. But look, if you look at the table, you think they don't have any problems. But you look a bit deeper. I think this team, I think Brendan Rodgers knows this. In fact, he mentioned it yesterday, that they're still missing little component parts of this, and I think they'll get better. But at the moment,
half-time here in
okay.
Paisley Kenny, St Mirren 1, Dundee 0.
Half-time at Tynecastle, Hearts 2, Falkirk 0.
And at Capello, where it shows.
Here.
We've just lost a couple of the lines there, just a few technical issues this afternoon. Apologies for that.
Sports LB without technical issues.
Oh my God, a whole lot easier. I can tell you. Yeah, so a few technical issues, just losing some of the grounds there, but they're in and out. But we've not missed a goal. That is the main thing this afternoon. That's the main thing. We had a good debate in the first hour, and we've got plenty more to bring you on till around about 8 o'clock this evening after the game finishes through Fir Park. Motherwell, fantastic start to the season for them, albeit the frustration that they haven't converted their good play into wins in the league. But fantastic, of course, up at Pittodrie in the League Cup last Saturday. The sides meet again in the league this evening at Fir Park. That's a 5:45 start. So just looking around the grounds, I think that's all the half-time whistles have gone, just blowing there, just waiting for the half-time whistle. Chick said there would be a wee delay down there at Capello.
Half-time now, Kenny.
Half-time now, thanks to Chick Young down there. So Ross County with their noses in front. Stay with us on Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. All the half-time reports to come.
Scottish football lives here.
This is Open All Mics from Sports Sound.
Go! From BBC Radio Scotland.
There's another huge night of European football this Thursday, and it's live on Sports Sound.
What a strike!
In the Europa League, Celtic host Sporting Braga. Rangers visit Austria to face Sturm Graz. Aberdeen kick off their Conference League campaign against Shakhtar Donetsk. Listen on Thursday at 5 on digital radio, or ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio Scotland Extra.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. Our commentary match this afternoon, Celtic at home to Hibs. Let's get to our commentary team of John Collins and Liam McLeod.
Yeah, it's goalless at the interval here at a rain-soaked Celtic Park. The hosts have had loads of the ball, as you would expect them to have. I think it's not too far off being 80% in possession. They've also had plenty pops at goal. They've hit the bar a couple of times, and Salinger, towards the end of the first half, is finally being called into action as he saved from both McGregor and Iheanacho after the Nigerian earlier clipped the bar. Sirachi did likewise. It's been a dominant performance, albeit still frustrating for the manager and for the supporters here, who had a silent protest for the opening 12 minutes of the game. Hibs didn't really threaten in the final third, right up until the stoppage time period, when a header towards goal almost fell to Warren O'Hara after Carter Vickers inexplicably left it, dropped into the 6-yard box. They couldn't take advantage. Just a warning there, John Collins, for Celtic, that even though they're dominating the game, they haven't managed to get their noses in front, and we know that Hibs are generally good for a goal.
And Martin Boyle at Hibs, you've got that pace at the top of the pitch. I've said it numerous times. So Hibs pinned in, Celtic dominating the game, playing some good football. Probably not worked the goalkeeper enough. That's the only disappointing thing from Brendan's point of view. Tonetke, wide left, looks a threat constantly every time he gets the ball. Sarachi really impressed with his deliveries as he gets into the final third. But again, Martin Boyle, just one long ball breakaway. Celtic have got to have full concentration. Two central defenders, got to keep their eye on Boyle.
Scoreless at the break at Celtic Park.
Thank you to our commentary team there. Full second half commentary to come. Of course, Pat Bonner is on open all mics duty for us. Let's get to Alan Preston. Hearts against Falkirk at Tynecastle, and get the half-time report, Al.
Half-time score, Kenny. Hearts 2, Falkirk 0, and Hearts have had total domination in that opening 45 minutes. In 10 minutes, a Kingsley cross, and there was Mullen, who's playing on the right-hand side, although he's a left-back, but doing very well with a header just wide. And then Finlay had a hit from 25 yards. Brilliant save from Scott Bain. I've got to say, Scott Bain's been exceptional. He's kept them right the scoreline down. Braga then had a header, Bain saved as well, but the opening goal came in 22 minutes, and it was wonderful play. Kizaridas playing wide on the left, beat a couple of men, cut inside, and from 25 yards unleashed an unstoppable shot right into the top corner. It was magnificent. 3 minutes later, Braga should have scored once again. Nice move between him and Kizaridas, and Braga had the shot over the top of the crossbar. Then again an exceptional save from Scott Bain. Mullen on the right hand side with his right foot whipping it to the back post. Kizaridas stretching at the back, and somehow Scott Bain managed to dive to his right and knock it away for a corner. But the second goal came in the 41st minute, and it was all down to Lauren Shanklin. The ball was played to the edge of the box. Shanklin just a little bit of muscle, outpowered the centre half, and from 25 yards unleashed a right foot shot into the bottom corner for his 7th goal of the season. I think Hearts will add more in the second half, but the half-time score, Hearts 2, Falkirk 0.
Thanks to Alan Preston. Let's get to the game at Tannadice. Dundee United at home to Kilmarnock, and get the half-time report from Rory Loy.
Yeah, as it stands at half-time, Kenny, at Tannadice, it's Dundee United 0, Kilmarnock 1. The first shot of the game did come to the hosts. It was Dolchek down the right-hand side. He had a snapshot which was easily held by the goalkeeper. On 13 minutes, a really great run by Sapsford was picked out by Lucas Stevenson. However, his shot was blocked in the end. On 26 minutes, the opening goal of the game. Some lovely one-touch football from Kilmarnock around the edge of the box. Watson picked up a lovely position in that number 10 role. Found Anderson, who after some lovely touches around the box, the fox in the box struck low with his right foot across Kucherenko into the bottom corner, giving the goalkeeper no chance for 1-0 Kilmarnock. On 36 minutes, Savells did have a chance to equalise from a corner, a header at the back post which he couldn't quite get enough on. And Sapsford did hit the post with a couple of minutes to play in regulation time as well. However, ultimately he was ruled offside. Jim Goodwin will be disappointed after a relatively bright start. They've been under par and not great. He may look to his bench. It remains that way. Stuart Kettle will be delighted they've taken the lead, and he'll be looking to register their first league win of the season. So at half time it is Dundee 0, Kilmarnock 1.
Next up, Paisley, St Mirren at home to Dundee. Let's hear from Chris Doolan.
Hi Kenny, it's half-time here at St Mirren 1, Dundee 0. St Mirren will be the happier of the two sides, obviously going in the front, but they've dominated the majority of this first half. A really stop-start first 10-15 minutes. The really only shot of note from Dundee, Dre Wright, after 19 minutes, hit a straight drive down the middle, was easily dealt with by Shamal George, but it was all St Mirren after that. Gogic had a shot for the edge of the box from a long throw from Phillips that was cleared to the edge of the box, and he struck it well. Good save from McCracken. At 27 minutes, there was another long ball played forward, and the two strikers of Mandron and the younger causing all sorts of problems for the back line. They combine, and it was flicked on by Mandron. A younger gets onto it with his left foot, and he hits a great drive, which was well saved by McCracken down to his left. But the goal came in 39 minutes. Phillips, Idawu gets inside the box, he cuts it back, it finds its way all the way back to about 16 yards out, and with a left-footed drive, a fantastic left-footed drive, he drills it into the bottom corner to put St Mirren rightly in front. And at half-time here in Paisley, it's St Mirren 1, Dundee 0.
We are covering one game in the Championship today. That game is at Capello. Morton at home to Ross County. The half-time report from Chick Young.
Yeah, and that game sees Ross County lead Morton by a goal to 0. It came after 18 minutes. Penalty kick, Stonewall penalty, I have to say. It was Fraser brought to the ground, and Rory the Hale, outstanding player in the park, stepped up confidently, penalty kick. Although I have to say that the Morton goalkeeper James Storer wasn't that far away from getting it. He got a hand on it, but the power of the shot took it into the back of the net, and Ross County 1-0 ahead. We've had pretty serious injuries. A couple of players, Cammy McPherson seemed to dislocate his shoulder. He had to go off and replaced by Cammy Blues, and Ross Docherty with a pretty bad tackle for which he was booked, injured himself and had to come off. He was replaced by Jamie Lindsay into that first half as well. Neither of these teams have recorded a victory so far. Morton, of course, imagine the good old days of the football pools. They would have been a very much the punters' favourites. 7 draws so far. They need to get a goal in the second half at least if they're going to get another draw on the cards. Ross County the better team in the first half without a shadow of a doubt. Half time here it is Morton 0, Ross County 1.
So in the Premiership, Celtic 0, Hibs 0, Dundee United 0, Kilmarnock 1, Hearts 2, Falkirk 0, St Mirren 1, Dundee 0. 5:45 start. Motherwell at home to Aberdeen. In the Championship, Ayr United 4, Airdrie 1, Dunfermline Athletic 0, Partick Thistle 2. The Powers down to 10 men. Morton 0, Ross County 1, Queen's Park 1, St Johnstone 1, Wraith Rovers 0, Arbroath 0. In Scottish League 1, Cove Rangers 0, Kelty Hearts 1, Hamilton Accies 1, Stennismuir 0, Inverness Carry Thistle 1, East Fife 1, Montrose 0, Queen of the South 0, Peterhead 2, Alloa Athletic 1. Into League 2, Annan Athletic 2, East Kilbride 1, Dumbarton 0, Stranraer 1, Edinburgh City 0, Falkirk Athletic 1, Elgin City 1, Spartans 1, Stirling Albion 0, Clyde 2. And in England, full-time score, Brentford 3, Manchester United 1. Half-time scores, Chelsea 1, Brighton 0, Crystal Palace 1, Liverpool 0, Leeds United 1, Bournemouth 1, Manchester City 1, Burnley 1, Nottingham Forest against Sunderland. That's a 5:30 start. 8 o'clock, Spurs at home to Wolves. Tom English and Billy Dodds alongside me here in the studio, just looking across the latest scores. Billy, we've got all the pictures coming into the studio here. Hibs have offered very little, you'd have to say, in the game at Celtic Park, but David Gray will be absolutely delighted.
He will. I mean, getting to, Pat was describing some of the chances, clipped the crossbar a couple of times. You're going to get that, you're going to expect that as a Hibs manager, a Hibs team going to Parkhead. But also said to you, the phases of play are the phases of time through the game, phases of the game. Getting to half time is a huge thing for Hibs, and with the goals have been leaking to keep a clean sheet as well. So yeah, the longer the clock counts down, then you put Celtic under pressure to win the game, and that's where Hibs would have wanted it.
Hearts look very comfortable and actually very good this afternoon, don't they?
A team full of confidence. Yeah, Falkirk have got something about them as a spirit, but we've also said that they're not particularly great at the back as well. But I have to say, the 2 goals that Alan described have been brilliant.
Yeah.
That shows you where Hearts are mentally, Kenny. I mean, the strike from Kizaridas and then Lauren Shanklin's strike, you've got to watch them tonight in Sports Scene. It's 2 brilliantly struck shots and 2 fine goals.
Yeah, tune in for them this evening. I'm not saying it'd be a huge shock, but a bit of a shock in the cards at Tannadice right now, Billy.
We talked about Killy's away form, even to go there, and we talked about how Dundee United are doing really well, how their new players have fitted right in. Some great results, winning midweek. Maybe they're a little bit tired today, if you want to make excuses, but Killy have capitalised on that. It was a fine goal from Bruce Anderson, 1-touch play. I think it was from Polworth, and Watson laid off to Anderson, who struck it in the bottom corner. So yeah, Kilmarnock, if they can hold on for the next 45, that's a huge result.
And St Mirren doing what St Mirren do. They're ahead against Dundee, and it's a live table, it's early days, but right now they're third in the table. It's remarkable.
Are you surprised though?
No.
You just said it, you described it perfectly, isn't it? St Mirren do what St Mirren do. It's been a tough old game, both teams having parts of it, but when it comes to the bit, St Mirren hit a shot, and Killian Phillips falling in from a midfield run, just a quick 5-yard dart, and pokes it in the bottom corner with his right foot to put them ahead at the break.
And Chicketts down at Capello for us. Ross County on course for a much needed 3 points. It's been a struggle for them this season.
Sorry, Tony, I'm sure we're going to agree with you. But Tony Docherty needs to get a win. They've probably been worthy of the lead they've got. But I know, just to pick out one player, Ronan Hale again, I mean, he's outstanding. I don't know why, and I spoke to I think it was, what game was that? Dunfermline match. He scored twice, and Roy McGregor said to me, "Don't you go praising him at the heavens. We're trying to hang on to him, you know." But he is an outstanding player, Bill, isn't he? He's just a quality striker.
No, he is. I thought you were away for a pie, wee man, but you were still hanging on there.
I know that.
Yes, and I know that's not true. Yeah, but you're right in pointing out Ronan Hale. I mean, I thought he was going to go after last season, probably to start the season. They've hung on to him through that transfer window. He's an important player for them, especially where they find themselves, Chick, where, you know, second bottom of the league, have to start climbing up, and he's going to score some goals, and he's going to have to if Ross County want to start climbing that championship.
All the pictures coming into the studio here, we can see the players coming back out in Paisley, still waiting for the players to come out at Tynecastle, and they're underway at Tannadice, and I think we can just hear the music that signals the return of the players there at Celtic Park. That is the first of our commentary matches this afternoon. Remember, 5:45 start. What a game it should be at Fir Park. Motherwell at home to Aberdeen. Once again, a choice of listening on BBC Radio Scotland for full commentary of Celtic against Hibs with Liam McLeod and John Collins. Tune to Radio Scotland Extra online at bbc.co.uk/Sport Scotland. BBC Sounds and 810 Media Wave is open all mics you want. You'll find us on 92 to 95 FM online and BBC Sounds.
Scottish football lives here.
This is Sports Sound.
That is a beautiful finish
from BBC Radio Scotland.
That is massive.
Welcome back to Open All Mics on BBC Radio Scotland. I'll just run through the half-time scores for you again. Celtic 0, Hibs 0, Dundee United 0, Kilmarnock 1, Hearts 2, Falkirk 0, St Mirren 1, Dundee 0. 5:45 start at Fir Park. So Rory, you're back underway there at Tannadice?
Yes, indeed, and Kilmarnock started brightly. Some lovely feet by David Watson in the middle of the pitch. He sprung forward but didn't quite catch his shot, so it was a comfortable save in the end for Kucherenko as Dundee United play a free kick to the back stick. Just now, the ball's still alive, but Kilmarnock looking bright at the start of this second half. It's worked really well. Dacker's up front as well. He's a bit untidy at times, but he's worked well with Anderson, who ultimately got the goal. But we're back underway, lively game, and Kilmarnock lead 1-0.
What do you think Jim Goodwin will be looking to change if things don't turn around fairly quickly there, Rory?
I don't think it helps when the likes of Dolchek, who, you know, I've not seen much of him, heard he's been brilliant. He's had a poor game. It's been a little bit quiet. He'll be looking to players like that to, you know, to bring a bit more in the second half, and if not, you know, he can look to his bench to try and get a little bit of something on the pitch. So, listen, I think they're capable of it. Dundee United, they've shown in flashes, but I think they're looking to move the ball a little bit quicker is what I would say as well in the middle of the pitch. Kamara's been really good. Savelge at times, he's taking too many touches. Sapsford's movement's been good. Get it up to him earlier, join the play a bit earlier and try and get a little bit more momentum and progressive up the pitch to try and put pressure on the Kilmarnock goal.
Chris Doolan is at the Smythe Stadium for us this afternoon. We've spoken a fair bit about the home side. Chris, what have you made of Dundee in that opening 45?
I think you can see that what they're trying to do, Kenny. I think you can also see that they're really missing Simon Murray. Yeah. I think the experience, his movement, his bit of pace as well. You know, that back line of St Mirren, it's a big physical old back line, so you need a wee bit of creativity. You need somebody with a turn of pace as well who can run in behind, and just now they're almost keeping the game in front of them, and Dundee are struggling to try and break that down. I think a guy like Simon Murray is exactly the type of striker that would probably be the one to probe and get in behind.
Spartans equalised at the start of actually just at the end of the first half. Actually, it's just come through. Elgin City 1, Spartans 1. Mark McNulty with that goal in first half stoppage time. Let's get to Alan Preston. Alan, Hearts have looked very impressive in that opening 45.
They have a really good performance, and Falkirk have brought on Oliver and Arfield at the start of the second half, Kenny. And Tom will be able to check this out, but I think that's Lauren Shanklin now, the SPFL since it started in 2013, top scorer, taken over from Rory McAllister, who had 162. That's his 163rd goal since that started in 2013.
Yeah, we'll get Tom on to that. Speaking of Lawrence Shanklin, Alan, is it as simple as just playing him in his natural position? Does he look a bit sharper this season? What do you think of him this season?
Yeah, playing in his natural position. He's got someone up front in Braga that also takes the bumps and bruises, and they link up really well together. They're getting crosses in the box for wider areas, and that's what Hearts lacked last year. They weren't getting any width into their team. No crosses coming in, so Shanklin was playing too deep at times as well. Sometimes it was a lone striker. But he's better up with a partner, he certainly is, so he's looking great so far. 7 goals so far this season.
He's a great finisher, Billy, but he's also quite a clever footballer, isn't he?
I think he's got better as he's got older. I think a young Lawrence Shankland Aberdeen, all he wanted to do was score goals. But since he's gone to Ayr, Partick Dundee United, he's really get experience where I want to take part in the game and I'll still get my goals.
Back underway at Celtic Park, Pat Bonner. Celtic knocking on the door several times in that first half. So much pressure.
Yeah, and again knocking on the door. They've dominated this opening couple of minutes here, getting the ball into the box. There was one effort from Tuanekti who headed. I don't think he's powerful in the air, but he got into a decent position, headed well wide, and that another cross to the back post. Iheanacho this time, it just evades him slightly the back post. So Celtic starting off as they finished the first half.
Save.
Yes, Alan.
Brilliant stuff again from Hearts. Falkirk, they're on undoing. They lose the ball. Kizarides goes through, slipped it to Shankland, left foot shot, brilliant save from Scott Bain. He's going one way, Shankland puts the ball the other, dives fully to his left hand side. Great save.
And I'll tell you, he sees it late because when he bends it, it has to get round Henderson. So the goalkeeper says it late. It's a great save.
I'm telling you what, right now, Doddsy, he must be in contention to be in the squad for Scotland. For the goalies that we've got, none of them are playing.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. He's done well since he's gone there.
No chance for that one. Halkett, header. Kizarides corner. Halkett diving header, back post. This game looks as if it's done. 3-0 Hearts.
It's a worrying thing for Falkirk. We said the league goals, they've got a spirit about them, but I mean, even when they drew midweek, they lost a couple of goals, and he doesn't have to do much. Halkett, it's an in-swinger, but he's just adjusted off his man out the way till about 8 yards, Kenny, to get a header, and it's far too easy from a Falkirk point of view.
What a chance!
Pat Bonner.
What a chance for Celtic. Really good play down this left-hand side. Tuanekti getting to the byline, cuts it back. I think it was Engels.
Yeah, it was, Pat.
Yeah.
And was it a save or a block on the line?
I think it was a save, was it, Billy?
Yeah,
here we are now. Here we go, replay.
Stood big. You're right, Pat.
Yeah, you're right, bang on, Pat.
Son again. Defender blocks away.
Oh, another big chance from the corner. This time swung in, flicked on at the near post by Carter Vickers, and Iheanacho into the back post, heads over. Celtic really knocking on the door. And this, 5 minutes gone in the second half.
Yeah, it just feels like a matter of time now. Just to go back to Falkirk, Billy, when we were in here on Tuesday night, I think back, Scott Bain bailed him out. Remember knocking the ball about at the back and they almost lost a goal early on. They just need to be more solid, don't they?
The one central deep line midfielders hate when they have to go square.
Yes.
Only comes to 18 yards. They've got a man right up the backside as well. So it's...
They need to tighten up, don't they?
The managers again, they want to play out for back, no problem with that, but they definitely take a chance, especially if your players are not the standard to receive the ball there, especially when they're square.
Right, let's get back to the game at Tannadice. Rory Loy is there for us. Are United looking a bit more likely in the second period, Rory?
No, Cavallic have started much the better team, I have to say, Kenny, and just as that Hearts goal went in, Anderson had a magnificent chance to double his tally and double his team's tally. It was Dackers down the right, did really, really well, blasted it across the face of goal. Anderson made the front post run, as all good strikers do. Instep, volley, just wide of the post. Kilmarnock looking the more likely team to double a lead, and it's still 1-0 Kilmarnock.
This is some performance from that Hearts, isn't it?
Oh, some move down the left hand side. They're flying. Shankland to Kizarides, Kingsley down the wing, cuts it back. Braga, good defending by Falkirk in the end, but you can see them adding to this tally, Kenny. 3-0.
Yeah, it's a real concern for Falkirk, you'd have to say. Another chance elsewhere.
Cavallic have played some lovely stuff. Dominic Thompson at left back's been excellent all day long. Both the strikers have linked well. It goes into Kiltie, plays it back to Thompson. He's overhit his pass to Anderson, who should be able to get his shot away first time. Kilmarnock really, really good to watch in the opening 5 minutes of this second half, but it's still 1-0.
Right, let's get back to the game in Paisley. Chris Doolan is there for us. What's happening in the early stage of the second period, Chris?
Yeah, it's been about 50-50, Kenny, in here. No real chances. Ethan Hamilton had a strike from distance. Ethan Hamilton for Dundee has been fantastic, actually, on the ball and off the ball. He uses the ball really well. He plays in that deep midfield role. He bounces things off. He's big and powerful, and he broke forward. he collected a ball and he struck it from a good 30 yards, and he hit it directly at Shamal George. Easily saved, but both teams just finding their way into this second half. But St Mirren do still look the stronger of the two.
Chance!
But
Dundee
starting to come into it as well.
Unbelievable save. It's at the back post. It's Robbie Dees with the header. Oh, it's been given. It's over the line. I don't know who's given it. The linesman didn't seem to put his flag up, but Robbie Dees' header, it looked like Kucherenko just got it out of the net, but obviously he hasn't come up.
Right,
up. I don't know who's made the decision.
Linesman never gave it, that's for sure. He was running away. Just watching the pictures now, it's Thompson, the man you were just speaking about. It's a lovely hung up cross, and Big Deasy at the back post gets a strong header on it.
Oh, it looked a magnificent save to begin with. I don't know whether VAR have looked at it so quickly, because it's factual. He won't need to come to the screen, so if it's over the line, then it's obviously been given by the VAR, would be my initial thought as Dundee United make to look changes.
Yeah, that's quite the scoreline on the cards up there. Now my video printer is frozen down to the technical issues, but I can tell you Wraith Rovers are 1-0 up at home to Arbroath. Paul Hanlon with that goal on 47 minutes. We'll keep you updated on all the goals, but Rory, just talk us through what's been so good about this Kilmarnock performance this afternoon. What's worked?
Well, in the first half, it was relatively even. Dundee United had spells in the game, as Dolchek actually is coming off now. He's been under par today, and Fata's coming off as well. So, yeah, look, Kilmarnock, David Watson, I'll say it again, he's causing so many problems, and so's Kiltie. They're picking up positions where, Kamara doesn't know whether to mark him, Savelge doesn't know whether to mark them, or the back centre-backs don't know whether to come in and mark him, and it's just causing all sorts of problems and issues for Dundee United. But Kilmarnock have punished them time and again with some lovely moves, so I just think it's that little bit of intelligence from the midfielders. Dackers has been a handful, and you add Anderson's quality into the mix as well, and it's just been an all-round fantastic performance.
Really surprised at that. Fair play to Kilmarnock. They look total value for it. I could not see that one coming.
No, I would agree with you, Tom. I did say I think Kilmarnock have been difficult to play against. They've been competitive, and I expected them to run Dundee United close, maybe get a draw out of the game. But no, I'm with you. I didn't see it being as comfortable as it has been so far.
Dundee United have been a good team this season. This is a big. Well, look, it's
chance Dundee United this time.
It's not over yet.
No, it's cut back. I'm really enjoying this game, I have to say. It's cut back to Savelge, and he's a little bit timid with the finish. He goes with the instep. Billy, can he put his laces through it?
He could. You're right. You're right with the side foot, and a bit timid, but good build-up play for a change for Dundee United in this game. When it's cut back, he's got to smash it, Rory. It's his best chance of scoring.
Yeah, absolutely. 2-0 Kilmarnock.
Right, let's go back to the game at Celtic Park. Still the away side holding firm there, Pat.
Yeah, they are, and listen, it's been all Celtic again, creating chances, dominating the ball, controlling the game. I should have mentioned that Chris Cadden came on at half-time. He's having a really handful up against Tunekti on this left-hand side, but Celtic dominating. But as long as this game keeps going on at 0-0, Hibs will always have a chance.
You'd have to say Celtic, pressing, Tom, so many chances. Yeah. Quite disappointing from Hibs this afternoon. They've offered nothing.
Yeah, they've offered nothing going ahead, but they've been pushed back the whole time. I think their use of the ball has been poor when they've had it. But what I will say, the organisation, the defence of everyone, we've spoken a lot about Hibs' defending this season. Mm-hmm. Their organisation has been very, very good. This is a frustrating day for Celtic. You suspect that they'll make a breakthrough because they've just had so much possession, but Hibs are well organised, well disciplined at the back.
And a bit of a statement performance from Hearts this afternoon. They've been very good.
Very exceptional. They've got an awful lot of strings to their bow, Hearts. They've got pace. All the issues from last season, they've addressed most of them, apart from the right back area. But they've got pace. They've got goal scorers. They've got a huge energy and aggression, but guile as well in their team. They're great fun to watch, Hearts, right now.
The bench as well, Tom.
Yeah,
really,
great bench.
Really
Biscuits,
strong.
Yeah.
Can hear Biscuits is happy, yeah?
He's sounding quite chuffed this afternoon.
How's Willie Mullen doing?
I was just thinking he'll be driving down the road right now. I'm sure he's going to the game at Fir Park tonight.
You can get him on the way home, Al.
Don't worry about that. I'll be on to you, my friend.
And they've got another winger coming in December, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alan Chesnikov.
Chesnikov, yes. According to Derek, is exceptional.
Yeah,
and then once you get Azu playing, the most expensive sign-in, he looks a proper player as well.
It does. It's all on the upward curve for Hearts right now.
Long may it continue, Tom.
Let's get down to the one game we're covering in the Championship this afternoon. That's down at Capello. Morton are home to Ross County. What's happening, Chick?
Well, just another change. Gary Mackay-Stephen, remember him, has just come on to replace Jay Henderson. Still 1-0 to Ross County. Morton, I don't know, just haven't really got going this afternoon. They got a wee bit more, certainly more possession, more work rate in the second half. They made a hash of a couple of attacks. And they just don't look like getting that equaliser. So if I say that, you know what will happen next, Kenny.
Oh, what a chance again. What a chance here. Brilliant play, shifting it from the right hand side right across. Sarchik going down the left hand side, cuts it back. Ian Natcher failed to get on the end of it again. He's having one of those days. It's just the one he hit the crossbar, what he should have scored, but these are just evading him by inches.
Billy, as a striker, you're loving that cross.
I thought you were going to say, Billy, that reminds me so much of yourself.
Not at all, not at all. Great play.
Yeah, Pat's called it correctly again, just working it.
Is it offside, lads?
Actually, I think there was a suspicion of it, Tom, but doesn't matter when that cross comes in. It doesn't matter your contact. All you've got to do is make sure you get one and bundle in.
Well, if he gets any kind of contact, it's in the net. Now, whether it's offside or not is another.
Yes, you don't worry about that. You put it in the net, and then you see what VAR are going to say. But
it's really good build-up play, guys, though, down this left-hand side.
Yes.
What did I say? Martin, wait a minute. It's been chalked off. The linesman is blasted into the back of the net from a very narrow angle. The Morton players are round the referee, having a real go at him. It's been chalked off. It couldn't have been offside, surely. I'm not entirely sure what happened at all there. You heard the cheers. Morton and their supporters thought they'd equalise. Cut the players over the linesman now. They're furious about that. I must say, Dougie Emery down there is going absolutely
Did this not happen against Wraith Rovers? They had a goal chopped off, I think, and the manager was going absolutely nuts down there as well from memory. So that's a big call there. They thought they were right back in it, and relief you'd have to say for Tony Docherty. Ronan Hale with that penalty in the first half has County ahead down at Capello. Let's get back to the game in Paisley. Chris Doolan is there for us. Any sign of a fight back?
Chance, Kenny.
Yes.
Great chance, great time to come to St Mirren, almost getting that second goal. It's a big switch of play from left to right, and it gets whipped across the 6-yard box. I can't tell which one of the two strikers that gets in on it. It almost slides it over the line, but it gets cleared 4 or 5 yards away from the goal. And currently it's out for a long throw, which Phillips is away out to take.
Right, thank you to Chris through there in Paisley. It's just confirmation of the second goal for Kilmarnock. Robbie Dees is just coming through. Things are a bit slow in the studio here this afternoon. So Dundee United 0, Kilmarnock 2. How on earth does Jim Goodwin change this game, Rory?
Well, the last 5 minutes have been a start. They've made a couple of substitutions. Eskinen's come on, and so has Nicola Moller, and he is a big lad, and they've just lumped balls into the box and had a bit of sustained pressure. Ball hasn't quite dropped him in the box to get a finish, but they've looked a lot more at it since that second goal went in, and that'll frustrate Jim Goodwin because they're clearly capable of it. It's not one of these games where I'm looking thinking, I don't think Dundee United have got any way of getting back into this. I think they've got potential chances, but you'll need to try and take some of them as Kilmarnock prepare to make a double change. It looks like Lyons and Daniels are going to come on.
Right,
2-0 Kilmarnock.
2-0. So Airdrie have got a second goal back against Ayr United, but still trail by 4 goals to 2. Spartans are in front now away Elgin Celtic. Mark McNulty on 59 minutes there. Montrose 1, Queen of the South 0. That's you up to date with the latest scores. Let's get back to Pat at Celtic Park, because a really frustrating afternoon for the home side. When they're playing so well, just not converting their chances, you still think that the manager will looking to make some changes, Pat?
He may do, but I'll tell you, they've absolutely battered Hibs. Hibs have really kind of struggling to get a hold of the ball in any way, shape or form. When they do get it after 2 or 3 passes, they give it away again. And then Celtic, just they're hanging in defensively. They're well organised, as Tom already alluded to, and they're obviously Grant Hanley coming in very experienced in that back 3 and just orchestrating them. But Celtic really should be in the lead.
Inverness Cally Thistle back in front. Witherspoon, David Witherspoon, that goal in 62 minutes, 2-1 up against East Fife. Yes?
Yeah, there's still rage about this goal that this alleged equaliser that Morton had chalked off. The problem is that it was Robertson who had the ball in the back of the net. There was an offside decision given, despite the fact it was a Ross County defender, Ben Crompton, who headed the ball to Robertson. So, I mean, you can imagine the fury. Dougie Emery's post-match should be quite interesting in his interview. But the goal doesn't stand, and everyone is utterly and completely bemused as to why it was chalked off.
Yeah, I was quite interested to look at the club's social media when something like that happens. So Morton in 59 minutes, their social media, huge protest here as Robertson has the ball in the back of the net. The flag is up for offside despite Ross County defender Ben Crompton heading the ball to Robertson. So as you say, a hugely contentious this issue down there at Capel. Another big chance here, Rory.
Yeah, Mahler's come on and made a difference, even not necessarily his quality, just his physical presence. And Stevenson gets down the right hand side, flashes one across, and it's a really good save actually from the goalkeeper. Goes out for a corner which is about to be swung in now. But Anderson's come off for Daniels. I always feel sorry for Bruce Anderson. Do you know that, Kenny? Because I feel like whenever things aren't going well on whatever side he's playing, and he's the first to come out the team, and then obviously they're looking to shore things up, get Daniels on bigger, stronger. But he's played well today, Anderson, but that's him off. Daniels on. Brad Lyons also on for Kilmarnock as they lead 2-0.
Right, just apologies, the video print is frozen in here, so I'm trying to get the scores from wherever I can. But Clyde are 3-0 away at Stirling Albion. Wraith Rovers 2-0 up at home now to Arbroath, and I gave you the Witherspoon goal. David Witherspoon, Inverness Cardiff Thistle back in front against East 5. Yes. Was that you, Pat? Those in the Quinn there, sorry?
I was just going to say there was an opportunity there for Kieran Bow, who picked up the ball just inside Celtic's half, and Martin Boyle was a 1v1, and he just was a poor pass, and that's where they've fallen down today too in their final pass, when they do get a wee bit of possession just to try to pick Martin Boyle out with his pace up against Carter Vickers. Didn't happen for them, and they're pinned back again into their own half. I've got to say, Sarchi, who's playing left back today, has actually a really, really good game, really lent himself to the game really, really well.
Just going to give you the full-time scores as they come in from the first round of the Scottish Cup. A great game on the channel last night. I know Billy was down there. It was some atmosphere. Yes, goal.
I'm just, it's offside. It's offside. I thought he might have just been offside.
Billy, have we look here?
Yeah, I think he makes a move towards it. I'm not sure it was Sarchi that put it in, but the player, when it Hibs had the ball again, he kicked off the Celtic player and it broke through. Yeah, I think they're pointing that out where they did make a movement from it. You see it here, but it was coming in, they give it away. There.
It was a player who scored, not
Engels,
offside.
It was
Engels off.
Was it Engels?
I think it was Engels offside.
Yeah, but that's because he makes a move towards the
because Ian Acho was asking, is it me?
It wasn't actually Engels that put it in or crossed it after that. That's where it all breaks down.
But they're obviously checking it anyway.
Yeah, Don Robertson, the referee there, just waiting for instruction. I'll give you the full-time scores going through the first round of the Scottish Cup. Bowness United 0, Banks of D 3. That's a full-time score. Inverness 3, East 5 1 in League One. So we're still waiting here. Don Robertson is the referee. A huge moment in this game. Hibs have held out so far, but Celtic have had so many chances. Here we go again, Billy.
And then he's saying,
I think it's probably. I'm not.
And he actually looks slightly off as well. So they'll look at two. They'll look at the ball that broke.
Yeah, he's given the free kick, I think.
Right.
Yeah, and there's a substitution here. I'm just saying that there's two substitutions for Celtic coming on. Negrin's coming on and Forrest is coming off. Off goes Engels. I'm trying to see who's the other player that's going to go off.
And also coming off is Celtic's
Ian Acho's coming off. So they'll go with Maeda through the middle. Forrest on the right.
And they have replaced.
Negrin will replace Engels in the middle of the pitch.
Pat, what's your assessment of Engels today?
Okay, nothing great. Of course, he's got that delivery, hasn't he, from set pieces, from corners and so on, which is a real asset. But in normal circumstances in the open play, he's done his job, but nothing brilliant. But Celtic have dominated the ball, so he's the one that's linking the play alongside McGregor and that to the wide players more often than not. But he hasn't really got himself into the box. Negrin will get in the box, as we know, so that might change things a little bit from that perspective.
Right, let's continue around the grounds. Let's go to undoubtedly the performance of the day. That's some Hearts at Tynecastle. Alan Preston, very, very impressive. You there, Alan? Sorry, we're having terrible technical issues this afternoon, so I can only apologise for that. We're doing our best to bring you the goal updates and the updates from the guys at the ground. So let's go to Tannadice. Rory, you there?
Yeah, I think Stuart Kettlewell might have something to say about performance of the day, because Kilmarnock have been excellent, really have. Dackers as well had a huge opportunity there. It's probably a half a chance, but he should do better. It deflects to him in the box, he takes a touch and he just swipes at it with the right foot and it goes flying wide of the goals. I would have fancied Bruce Anderson more in that position to stick that one in the back of the net. Dundee United very direct now. Muller's won a few flip-ons and he had a header on target there, but nothing doing for Dundee United. Kilmarnock still 2-0 up.
Here's a chance for Hearts, Kenny. It's a free kick 25 yards out. It's set up for Kingsley. Although Kizaridas is shaping up as if he fancies it, but let's wait and see. They've been exceptional. It was Kingsley for me. He takes it. It's poor in the end from him. We've seen him score before. It's been a dominating performance from Hearts. Falkirk made a couple of changes at half time. They got slightly better. Arfields had a shot, Calvin Miller had a shot, but it was well wide of the target. Hearts lead 3-0, 67 minutes on the clock.
Alan, you just dropped off there for a minute or so. Just tell us what's worked today, why it's been so good for Hearts.
Flat four at the back for me. Wingers and Kizaridas, he's been exceptional, taking people on. Milne on the other side's done very well. Hearts look strong down that right hand side. Middle of the park, Devlin and Beningame complementing each other, and Shanklin and Braga up front. It's a partnership that's made in heaven at the moment.
And big concerns defensively from what you've seen, and a few of our pundits have said it this season, Alan, for their away side.
Yeah, they try and play football, and I've got to commend John, they do, but it's costing them goals. I mean, it's a different level that they've been at the last 2 years. League One and Championship, you can't do that in the Premier League, and he'll probably rue the mistakes that they've made because they've been self-inflicted.
I think, Alan, you look at Hearts, they're beginning to develop a bit of an aura. I don't know if that's maybe too strong a word, but a presence about them that other teams think, hang on, I'm not sure we fancy playing against Hearts today, because they've got so much strength, so much pace, so many goals in their team.
Yeah, they have, and I think that's strength, real strength and depth as well. And you know, if you're not playing well, it's because he did this again. Here's Braga on his left foot. Good save by Bain over the top of the bar. Bain's kept this down. It could have been 7 or 8, honestly. He's been very good. But no, you're right, Tom, and I think the 11 that are in the Hearts team just now know if they don't perform, there's plenty more on the sidelines ready to come in and take their place.
David Watson. Oh, look at this for a nutmeg from David Watson, Billy. You'll enjoy this. It's on Kamara in the middle of the pitch. Just sucks him right in and then pop right through the legs, and he's unlucky that his shot gets blocked.
An all-round very good team performance, as you've been saying, Rory, but any standout individuals for Stuart Kettlewell's team today?
Well, David Watson for me. Greg Kelty's been good and influential in this second half, and of course they've defended well. They've got a clean sheet at the moment. Dominic Thompson as well. It's difficult to pick just one. If I was forced to, I would say Watson, because of the intelligence of the positions he's picking up. He's getting on the ball, he's hurting Dundee United, and not only that, as an end product, he's been part of one of the goals, and he looks dangerous every time he gets it. So David Watson, but only just ahead of, for me, Dominic Thompson and Greg Kelty.
Right, I think I gave you this when I say it keeps freezing. Inverness Cali Thistle 3, East Fife 1. Alfie Stewart with that goal on 65 minutes. So probably the best thing to do right now is to give you the latest scores across the country. We'll try and update the goals as and when we get them. So Celtic 0, Hibs 0, Dundee United 0, Kilmarnock 2, Hearts 3, Falkirk 0, St Mirren 1, Dundee 0. 5:45 start, Motherwell against Aberdeen. Stay tuned for full commentary from that one. Into the Championship, Ayr United 4, Airdrie 2, Dunfermline Athletic 0, Partick Thistle 2, the Pars down to 10 men. Morton 0, Ross County 1, Ronan Hale with a goal from the penalty spot. It sounds as if Morton were very unlucky not to have an equaliser down there. Queen's Park 1, St Johnstone 1, Wraith Rovers 2. 2 second half goals for them are Broth 0. Into League One, Cove Rangers 0, Kelty Hearts 1, Hamilton Accies 1, Stenhousemuir 0, Inverness Cali Thistle 3, East Fife 1, Montrose 1, Queen of the South 0, Peterhead 2, Alloa 1, and in League 2, Annan Athletic 2, East Kilbride 1, Dumbarton 1, Stranraer 1, Edinburgh City 0, 10-man Forth Athletic 1, Elgin City 1, Spartans 2, Stirling Albion 0, Clyde 3, and in England, full-time score, Brentford 3, Manchester United 1, Chelsea 1, Brighton 0, Chelsea down to 10 men. Crystal Palace still 1-0 up thanks to that early goal at home to Liverpool. Leeds United 2, Bournemouth 1, Manchester City 3, Burnley 1. Burnley had equalised in that game. 5:30 start, Nottingham Forest at home to Sunderland. 8 o'clock, Spurs against Wolves. Let's get back to Celtic Park. The tension, the frustration building there a bit.
Yeah, the tensions are building. Both centre halves for Celtic have been booked. Scales initially for pulling back Bowie, and second time it was Carter Vickers who went to ground. But the interesting thing was that he's gone to ground. They've had, you know, the physio hasn't been on. The physio never came on. He's booked him. He's given a free kick to Hibs, and now the play continues. So, but they've also made a couple of changes. Hibs. Dylan Levitt's come on in the middle of the pitch, and he's the one that's taking the free kicks, and Martin Boyle's gone off up front also. So a few changes for Hibs, and they're coming into the game a wee bit better.
Yeah, I mean, Billy, that's what David Gray will be praying for. Just hang on, maybe get a wee chance in the last 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, especially from a set piece. Celtic had a penalty shout. It was a ball in, and Chris Cadden, I don't think it's a penalty. It's so close to him. He turns his back and his flailing arm, it hits it. But we've seen them given for that, but I don't think it was, and I don't like penalties given for that. But they were having a look at the penalty, and then the yellow card that Pat was talking about for Carter Vickers. There was stud show, and I thought at first, he's cleanly won the ball. It's never a yellow card. When I saw it again, you just can't tackle it that these days. You're picking up a yellow, I'm afraid.
And you were saying earlier on, Tom, Celtic, they have by and large done the business in the league, but the performances just haven't been up to scratch. The manager won't be happy.
No, I don't think he will be, because there is a lack of ruthlessness here. They've had a number of chances, and they haven't taken any of them. There's another one now, it's just ballooned wide by Tunetsky, I think. Tunetsky, yeah. It's just they haven't created a huge amount.
And they're going to go to the bench again, Tom. Sorry.
Told you it happened, Kenny.
Yes,
Morton won, Ross County won, Cammy Blues. They deserve it, Morton. That mysterious chalking off of what was perceived to be an equaliser. Still questions have been asked in that. But in the wake of that, they have actually equalised. Cammy Blues, the corner came in, got it down and absolutely roasted it into the back of the net. It's Cammy Blues who's equalised for Morton. As Morton won, Ross County won.
Thanks to Chip there. Further concerns, you'd have to say, for Tony Docherty. Montrose 2, Queen of the South 0. Let's get back to the game in pace of the home side, making a few changes there. Chris?
Yeah, they're just trying to shake things up. I think you can see the depth of the squad, especially for St Mirren, what they can change, bringing on McMenamin and Lundulu as well. And there's real physicality. They take physicality off and they bring physicality on. So, they're a big old side. When you look right through the team, guys at the back, Gogic, they've been big, they've been strong, they've been powerful, but they're so well organised, St Mirren. It's going to be difficult for Dundee, who are making changes as well. They're trying to shake things up, they're trying to get a wee bit of life into the team, but it's going to be difficult for them to break down this defence at St Mirren, because they're so well organised, everyone knows their jobs, and they'll be happy to see this game out now.
It's a double change for Hearts, Kenny,
yes,
as well. McEntee's gone off. He's not trained the last couple of weeks, but got through the game. And Kizaridis, I think that's looking at with a little eye on next week. But I'll tell you, Keeler Adams will be delighted that Kizaridis gone off. They've been replaced by Steinvender and Forrest, so Derek's maybe now having a little eye out to the derby next week.
Yeah, and he can do that, of course, with the strength, the size of the squad he has here at Hearts. You just wonder what they can achieve this season. They're off to a fantastic start, albeit he was trying to find his best 11, his best formation.
United are looking for a penalty here.
Right.
It's been wave play on. It didn't look like a penalty. It looked like a great challenge, and I think that's exactly what it was. It was Eskinen who went down in the box. But you asked me in the first half if Kilmarnock were good for their 1-0 lead, Kenny, and I wasn't quite convinced. Whereas they're absolutely good value for this 2-0 lead now. They've been really, really good in the second half. Eskinen's just hit the stanchion of the back of the goal as well. So Dundee United not out of this yet, but Kilmarnock really, really impressed with them today 2-0.
It's so hard to predict Scottish football, Rory, isn't it? And I guess that's why we love it, because I thought Dundee United were excellent against Aberdeen midweek. I was up there for the European game against Rapid Vienna. That was a special night, I have to say. Kilmarnock, we know the struggles they've got away from home. They've had a difficult couple of weeks. They were obviously not playing last weekend, but the late penalty against Celtic, the cup defeat, of course, on penalties to St Mirren. This has been a real test for Stuart Kettle and his players, and they've delivered big time this afternoon. Yeah,
it's a good win to get. It takes them within a point of Dundee United as well and gets them up the table. You don't want that gap to become, because Dundee United ran away into the top six very early last season, did really well. So Kilmarnock won't want that to happen again. They'll want everybody nice and tight and compact, and they've been well worthy of their 2-0 win today. Dundee United have got progressively worse, other than a 5-minute spell after the initial substitutions at the start of the second half. Craig Sibbald has since come on, and so has Dario Namo, but again, it's not made too much of a difference at all. Dundee United really under par. Kamara's been substituted as well. He was excellent the first 15 minutes. I said how good he was, and he gradually just looked more and more tired, is what I would say, and he's been taken off as well. So not been Jim Goodwin's day so far. 2-0 Kilmarnock.
First round of the Scottish Cup, so many games now. The full-time scores are coming in slowly here. There were some early kick-offs. So Johnson Borough 4, 3 Rovers 0 in the first round of the Scottish Cup. Chick, was that you that was going to come in there?
No,
sorry.
No, it was me that was going to come in. I was just going to say that Celtic have really gone for it, but they've made substitutions. Balaquisha's come on, Bernardo's come on, Johnny Kenny's come on, and he's taken off some of the players who played the other night also. So they've gone for it. I've got to say, Kieran Bowie up front, Hibs have just played everything up to him. He has battled and given Liam Scales such a hard
I love
time,
watching him.
But Liam Scales has probably come out most of it on top, but he's just kept going and going and going.
I actually think Scales has been excellent this season. I thought he's been a really good performer for Celtic. I love watching Kieran Bowie. Tom, as you were saying earlier on, and we discussed the defensive issues, we heard from David Gray at the top of the programme, his concerns over it, but they've looked very solid, haven't they? Well organised today, Hibs.
They have, they've got everyone behind the ball, and they're really, their ambition in this game is to get a point out of it, which is fine. I wouldn't say they're comfortable, but
save.
They're so well drilled in this.
Kilmarnock again as well. Sorry, Tom. Thompson, Dackers holds the ball up so well. He plays it back to Thompson. Thompson plays it into Daniels. He flicks it round the corner. First time to Lyons. He cuts inside the pitch and forces a really good save from Kucherenko. One he should be made, but a good save. But what a move from Kilmarnock. They've been a joy to watch in this second half. They really have.
Halifax 2, Stennismuir 0. O'Hara with that goal there on 82 minutes. Right, okay, we've had the latest score. Let's actually go back into the Championship. Isn't that a good, tight game, an exciting game down there at Capello, Chick?
Astonishing if it finishes this way, Kenny. This would be Morton's 7th draw out of 8 football matches they've played in the league this season, which is just unbelievable. And they're now, since they scored the goal, and actually for a little bit before the goal, they were the better team. Here's a chance for that. Oh, no, he's not going to get enough in that. The goalkeeper's made a mess of that. He's picked up Trevor Carson. Sorted that. So it's 1-1, and actually the tide has turned to such an extent that you would think that if there's one team going to grab a winner here, it would be Morton. They've definitely turned the game around, and a little bit of frustration coming from the bench as well. They're going to be a change actually, Ross County, but I think you can sense it down there. The frustration of the manager down there as well. Change getting made again for Ross County. It's James Scott coming on, Ben Compton going off.
And courtesy of our online coverage, Lawrence Shankland has now become the record goal scorer of the SPFL era.
Yeah, apologies. You had popped out the studio. No, but to be fair, Alan wanted you to check it.
Well,
I really wanted them just to confirm it, Kenny. I knew it.
Okay, yeah. No, well, I can confirm it. I can confirm it, Alan. 163 goals. Rory McAllister 162.
Yeah, Tom had just popped out the studio.
Yeah. Well done. I mean, that's a great achievement for Lawrence.
And we were just saying earlier, actually, Tom, he just looks back to his old self today, doesn't he?
Look, I mean, the way he finished that goal, no hesitancy, just let fly, and that is the Shankland that we've seen in previous seasons. Just confidence oozing out of the guy.
You think a little bit sick as well, not being in the last Scotland squad. That would push him on a bit as well. Claudio Braga, his partner in crime, has been taken off to be replaced by Kabangu. Falkirk again. They take chances at the back. Too many for me.
I think that's a concern. The Queen of the South pulled the goal back away at Montrose. Clyde 4-0 up now away at Stirling Albion. Spartans 3-1 up away at Elgin City. Right, let's get back. It's a really interesting game for me up there at Tannadice. And you're right, every time I've looked up, Rory, Kilmarnock have looked very, very good in that game.
Yeah, they have. Dundee United threatened to break away at one point there, and David Watson munched into the first challenge, won the ball, munched into a second challenge, won the ball, and then Brown won a free kick. And everything Kilmarnock have done today has just worked an absolute treat. Thoroughly deserving of their 2-0 lead, but still got another 5-6 minutes to see it out.
Yeah, good strike here from Bernardo, edge of the box. Great power on it. Goalkeeper has done well just to push it away. It was in his area to make the save, but it was a good strike, I've got to say.
Yeah, it was a very sweet strike indeed there. Let's get to the game in pace. I'm thinking for Dundee fans tuned in today, Chris, what would concern them from your point of view? What have you not seen that you'd be hoping to see from this Dundee side this afternoon? Albeit, we know St Mirren are a very good side at home.
Yeah, I think you have to give St Mirren a lot of credit, the way they play. You know, I spoke about how well structured they are. We all know that. You play a Steve Robinson side, you know what you're coming up against with and without the ball. They're so well organised. But I think Dundee, I would imagine, will be a bit annoyed that they don't create too much. You know, they don't look a huge threat, and I think that reliance now on Simon Murray is really, really telling. And I think you don't want to be in a Premier League team that relies on just one sole striker to get the goals. They unfortunately don't get you enough goals to keep you out of trouble.
And that's a great point, isn't it? That's a good point.
It's the type of thing that I just see in Dundee just now. They've brought on Emil Aqua up front, who's a big physical presence. You know, he looks like he could really cause some problems, but they have to now get service to him. He's up there himself, and it'll be difficult from now to the end of this game for him.
Yeah, apologies to Chris, there's a delay on the line in pace. I wonder if you just switch everything off today and switch it back on again, if that would do,
reboot,
including me. Yeah, that would do the trick this afternoon.
You have to switch it back on again.
That's a really good point. Yeah, that's optional. But Billy, I think it's a good point, isn't it? Because you take someone like Simon Murray out of the team, and every other player in that team, it must affect them, because you know when he's in the side, you've got a chance of a goal from nothing sometimes.
Yeah, when you've not, especially the striking position, if you're a team and you rely on him for, say, 15, 20 goals a season, and then suddenly at the start of the season, as Chris pointed out, he's not playing, and then he's off sick today, it's demoralising at times. But it can't solely focus around. You've still got to go, especially individual games, go to St Mirren and probably create more. I think that's where Chris is alluding to in terms of going there. It's a tough place to go. We've spoken about St Mirren, how well structured they are, what you're going to get, but you need to believe more and get your other players to really try and take part in the game to try and win it, and it's not been the case today.
Edinburgh City equalise late on at home to Forfar. Pat, it's quite interesting. Just a minute or so ago, we saw some pictures coming in for your game there. A very frustrated Brendan Rodgers. Yeah. Something I don't see too often, him remonstrating with the match officials there. It's been a frustrating afternoon all round for the home side.
Yeah, because they've had so much of the game, so much control, so much passing. Their approach play has been very, very good. Just rushed the final pass.
Rory Loy.
Yes, and I don't think there'll be any doubt whatsoever. It's Lucas Stevenson. He gets on the end of a long ball, and Stryek, who's been great all day, absolutely clatters into him. No doubt about that one. Chance to get back in it.
Yeah, route one flicked on, and Mayo decides to leave it for his goalkeeper. For me, he's going away from goal, Lucas Stevenson, and he's just got to stay in his line. But he doesn't. He comes charging out, and he just wipes him right out. No doubt, Rory, yep, it's a penalty, but don't know what the goalkeeper's thinking about.
No, he's good under pressure.
I think it's a good tackle if you're playing rugby.
It's going to be taken already. Tom steps up, right footed save. Oh. He's redeemed himself. Loti's right hand side. Stryer gets down, pushes it round for a corner. Remains 2-0 Kilmarnock.
Oh, I miss. Oh, Martin should be ahead, Kenny.
Yeah, check.
Oh, it's a delightful ball swung across from the left hand side, and Tommy Adeloy meets it at the far post, gets it across. I wonder if the goalkeeper got a touch on that. Hits the post. I thought it'd still get in, and somehow it's turned around for a corner kick. Morton, that had to be the winner for me. They've got a corner, and they've turned this game around. Carson comes out and punches it up the park, and now Ross County have got a break on. They've gone from end to end, and they've got 1-1. Here there's a break all the way through. Cuts inside, chops. Oh, they've maybe delayed too long. What a chance that was for Kenny. It was Gary Mackay-Stephen all the way through, end-to-end stuff. Well, it's a great end to this football match. Still 1-1.
Your old pal Brendan Rodgers there, Billy, looking very frustrated in the touchline at Celtic Park, I'd have to say.
I shouldn't really get involved, as I said.
I don't.
The guru had spoken. We better stand back.
Did I hear Tom
I couldn't resist, Dodgy. I couldn't resist.
You're a bad man.
Sorry, Dodgy.
I don't mind.
Kenny, did I hear Tom mentioning the word rugby in this?
Yes, you're right, Pat. Yeah, couldn't resist.
thought it was a pretty effective tackle there.
It was a dreadful tackle, Pat. When you see it, the keeper was absolutely shocking. What have you got? 2 or 3 minutes of normal time to go there at Celtic Park, Pat?
Yeah, there's about 86 minutes. Yes, you know, again, this is Celtic on the counter-attack here. They've got 4 or 5 players. And again, that ball's rushed and is played into almost no man's land. And that's been a frustration, I think, today. It's been all about approach play, but nothing, no end product that could put a ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, very good from Hibs so far. A very good, solid defensive display. Just winning a free kick there.
Solid. They've defended it. It looks like they've worked on it all week. I'll be perfectly honest. That's how they're going to play.
And I think if you're a Celtic supporter, you'd be questioning the lack of wit and creativity in the Celtic team.
Yeah,
it's just not. It's not that they've had so much possession. I know they've been faced with the blanket defence from Hibs. But they've done this before many times.
Oh, here's a chance. Chris Cadden, and just Carter Vickers comes across and just knocks it away for a corner. And we know Celtic and set pieces aren't the best either. So, interesting end to this game.
But they're saying the width, Tom, like they've signed 3 steps.
No, I'd say wit. Wit, W-I-T, as in, intelligent.
I said width.
Yeah. They've plenty.
That Irish accent.
Yeah, sorry, it is.
We'll love it. We'll love it.
No, I really shouldn't use that word. I mean cleverness.
I apologise. Wonderful tackle.
Yes, Al.
Cabangu, it's nice play between Shanklin and Cabangu, but Hart, the sub, has come on. Centre half, he's done very well since he's come on. Lovely time tackle in the box, just as Cabangu's about to hit it.
Late goal in the Championship, St Johnstone 2-1 up away at Queen's Park. McPake with that goal on 89 minutes. Elgin City back in it at home to St Ra. They're 3-2 down now. O'Connor with that goal. Stirling Albion 2, Clyde 4. Wraith Rovers cruising late on. Wraith Rovers 3 are both 0. So that corner came to nothing.
I was speaking to a St Johnstone fan during the week, and he was saying to me, can we win the league but stay in the Championship?
Listen, anyone seen the documentary yet?
Yeah, I see
that. The fans, they're absolutely loving Sima Valakari. Yes, Pat?
Yes, a ball in. Nice out-swinging ball. Johnny Kenny gets on the end of it. Again, just a foot or so over
good header,
the crossbar.
Pat. Good header,
but again, not hitting the target.
No.
A good header hits the target, Ken.
I mean, nice technique, nice connection.
With this weather, keep it down.
Right, back to Paisley. Chris.
Big chance for St Mirren, Kenny. There's a turnover of possession. There's a really slack pass in the middle of the pitch from Dundee, and it's Killian Phillips actually, and Lundaloo gets a hold of it. He plays a lovely wee back heel, and Killian Phillips takes the ball away and strides half the pitch and unleashes a low strike along the grass, which just sails past. Huge chance.
Yeah, that really was a big chance. As you guys have said, I think we like him. He's got a lot about him, Killian Phillips. So are we into stoppage time yet there at Celtic Park, Pat?
No, not quite. We've another minute or so to go. I'm just waiting to see what the assistant's going to put up. He's holding up his board just now, but it's a free kick to Celtic out on this left-hand side. Just a lot of frustration around the ground.
Yeah, that's coming through loud and clear on the airwaves. And just back to Tanneridge, briefly, Rory. Fantastic from Kilmarnock, but hugely disappointing for these Dundee United fans today.
Yeah, they've been under par, and that's probably been kind. Loads of unforced errors. When they did get their opportunity to get back into the match with the penalty, they missed that as well. Nothing's went right for them. Kilmarnock have been excellent, and 2-0 is absolutely a fair reflection. There's about 3 minutes left of the match. That's including the stoppage time, which has went up for 5 minutes.
4 minutes here, Kenny. 4 minutes extra time to be played.
Thanks, Pat. There'll be a couple more Celtic attacks within that time, no doubt at all about that. Everyone now behind the ball, Billy, for Hibs. It's a real rear guard action, isn't it?
Yeah, and it probably suited Hibs today to focus on their defensive responsibility and go to Parkhead. Know they're going to get pushed back, know they're going to give up a few chances, but look pretty solid, and that might help them going forward with some result if they get this draw. And then of course with this, if it stays the same scoreline, Hearts at the top of the league.
Absolutely, yeah. And Derek McInnes.
What was that, Billy? You cut out there, didn't hear that?
Tom, would you like to say again for that?
I can tell you Mr. Miller is listening on his way down the road, Alan.
You know why, boy?
It doesn't take much to reel him in.
Don't worry, I'll be watching the golf tonight, Willie. You'll be all right.
He's been in touch, I can tell you, the great man.
For 3 must be Watkins. Oh, Scores, should score. Really good. Well, I say really good stop. It's a poor finish. Lovely play from McKenzie down the left-hand side. He squares it. I think maybe Watkins has done his calf there, but that should be 3-0 and the game tied up. But it remains at 2-0 Kilmarnock.
They've grown in so much confidence, Kilmarnock. Away performance, 2-0 up. Some of their one-touch football has been brilliant. Their movement off the ball, and then I know that Dundee United are now leaving gaps, Rory, but you're right, he should be scoring there to make it 3.
He's more than capable, Watkins, from that position.
Great pace in the counter-attack there. Brilliant.
Every time we look up in the studio here, Pat, Celtic on the attack.
Yeah, and it goes to Balakwisha. He's a frustrating player also. He's all right-footed and doesn't want to go on the left-hand side. He gets his corner this time, knowing they're all up. Scale is up. Carter Vickers up. They're all in the box, crowding that 6-yard box. Ball comes in, and it hits the first man and is cleared. And
as a manager, you'd be going crazy at that, wouldn't you? Hitting the first man.
I hate it with a passion.
Yeah.
And Hibs just cleared up the pitch and that. Yeah.
Cove Rangers 0, Kelty Hearts 2. Full-time score, Wraith Rovers 3, Arbroath 0. Full-time score, Dunfermline Athletic 0, Partick Thistle 2 very early goals, including Tony Watt in the first minute there. Stranraer looked to have won it late on away at Dumbarton. Brighton looked to have won it late on against 10-man Chelsea. Full-time score, Hamilton Accies 2, Stenhousemuir 0. Bournemouth have equalised in the 93rd minute, Leeds 2, Bournemouth 2, and that's you up to date.
Full time at Tannadice, a fantastic away day, away performance. It finishes Dundee United 0, Kilmarnock 2.
Yeah, excellent from Stuart Kettlewell's side. After a difficult few weeks before, of course, they weren't playing last weekend, but the late penalty against Celtic, the cup defeat on penalties to St Mirren. Full-time score, Ayr United 4, ARG 2. Ayr were in control of that game very early on. Let's get back to Pat Bonner at Celtic Park. Pat, just what, a minute or so left there?
Yeah, there's just about a minute left, and Celtic on the attack. Knocking that ball down his right-hand side. James Forrest getting into the byline, puts it in and is cleared again. And McGregor's on it. Oh no, it's Negrin. Oh, and they're just trying everything. But good blocking, good defending from Hibs. Ball's back in again. And it's Johnny Kenny. Oh my word! And the goalkeeper tips it away to safety. He should have scored. He's got to score. It's on a plate for him. He doesn't get enough power. Heads it down.
Don't go dodgy. You're pointing at me.
Don't you ever say that's a good header?
I can't. That was a weak header.
That's a poor header.
Full time in Paisley Kenny. St Mirren 1, Dundee 0.
Brilliant result for Stephen Robinson's side. The fans are delighted through their worrying times for Dundee, despite that good late victory against Livingston last week. Full-time score, St Johnson late on have won it away at Queen's Park. 9 seconds past at Celtic Park.
Yeah, and that referee's looking at it, and that's it, full-time. 0-0, points dropped by Celtic. Good defensive performance from Hibs, but Celtic totally frustrated.
They've done it again, Kenny. The draw specialist Morton have come up with another one. It's finished full-time here. Morton 1, Ross County 1.
Yeah, an exciting game down there at Capello for Czech. So another frustrating afternoon for Tony Docherty. It's not been a good time for him so far in the early days of his time as manager of Ross County. We have a late equaliser for Liverpool away at Crystal Palace. Chiesa on 87 minutes.
How many late goals Liverpool, eh?
Oh, unbelievable, isn't it? Incredible. Some teams just keep on going, don't they? Just keep on going. Cove Rangers 0, Kelty Hearts 2, Peterhead 2, Alloa Athletic 1. Right, just seeing
I think there might be a check here for a possible penalty for Falkirk. Let's wait and see. The referee's got his hand up to stop the play. They've won a corner, but the fans down that end, it's right in that end with the Falkirk fans, they were screaming for a penalty kick, not given.
He just cleared it off Harry Millen, the defender, and he's both hands down beside Allen. It's never a penalty. It shouldn't even be looked at.
It's a full time at Celtic Park there. We can see the pictures coming in. They look very frustrated. David Gray very focused there, going round congratulating his players, Pat. And as much as Celtic couldn't find the breakthrough, a lot of that was down to some really resolute defending from Hibs. Hey there, Pat.
He's away in the huff.
Right, okay. Do you know what? It's been a long old afternoon. Honest to goodness.
You look at Celtic, right? They've won 2 of their last 6 games, and 3 of them, 3 of those 6 games, they haven't scored a goal in. And they've got issues here. They're obviously still the best team in the country. Well, okay, Hearts, sorry, asterisk.
Sorry,
Hearts are the best team in the country as we sit here at the moment.
I'm only joking.
But they're favourites to win the league, Biscuits. Let's put it that way.
Of course, 100%.
But they're not performing anywhere near the level that Brendan Rodgers would expect.
I'm saying nothing.
And Rodgers, I think, is
Hearts go top of the league. Full time at Tynecastle. Hearts lead folk up now.
I offer you right now, it's a yes or a no, okay? Hearts top 2 come the end of the season.
Oh yeah, they take that. Of course.
No, I'm asking you.
What?
I'm asking you. Will they finish in the top 2?
Oh, will they?
Yeah.
I don't know. I said last season I was convinced when Aberdeen beat Rangers. I thought, okay, I'm beginning to think now that they might finish second, and I was wrong. I should have stuck to my guns. I don't know, Kenny. I think Rangers are a lot poorer now than they were then. So there's a chance. The way Hearts are going,
they were excellent today, weren't they?
Very, very good.
Yeah.
Full of energy, full of goal threat, full of belief. And they've got other players to come in. And in January, I think they'll strengthen again because they've got that financial muscle to do it. It's very good time to be a Hearts supporter.
Right, let's bring you some full-time reports. We'll give you all the classifieds as well, and we'll bring you the team news from that big game at Fir Park this evening. Motherwell at home to Aberdeen, and of course we'll hear from both managers. That one kicks off at 5:45. So our first commentary match of the day came from Celtic Park. Celtic at home to Hibs. Let's now hear from John Collins and Pat Bonner. Pat was on opening mic's duty for us. John, a very frustrating afternoon for Celtic, but so much credit must go to Hibs. They defended so well today.
They defended very well. They were compact, they were organised, they stuck to their task, they got plenty of blocks in. Anytime Celtic players had shots in and around the box, they were blocked. Lots of good football from Celtic, working it wide, connecting the wide area, linked up really well with Sarachi, got to the byline. I don't think I've seen Celtic get to the byline cutbacks as many times for a long time, and normally when you get to byline and get cutbacks you inevitably get goals, but it was just one of those days in and around the box. The strikes weren't hitting the target enough, and probably never worked the goalkeeper quite enough. But there's lots of good football from Celtic today. It wasn't a bad Celtic performance, just that final little bit wasn't there for them. I say Hibs worked hard, they kept the distances good between the lines, the back 5, midfield 3, front 2. They never became detached from one another, and they all worked their socks off. They had a bit of luck, and the blocks went their way, the keeper made some saves. But Celtic will be disappointed with the possession they had, the domination they had, pinning Hibs back for long periods of this game and so many balls. Disappointed no hit to the back of the net. That's the disappointment from Brendan's point of view. He'll be frustrated when he watches that game, how many opportunities they worked their way into good positions and they never got goals from it. But overall, I would say some good football from Celtic, just that final bit.
That's an interesting one, Pat, isn't it? Because they've not been at their brilliant best this season, but we've discussed that many times on the programme. But actually, I thought performance-wise that they looked a bit more like themselves today. It was a bit quicker. Was it just really that final ball, that finishing touch that was missing today, Pat?
Yes, the approach play was very good. The intensity was good. They passed the ball with intent. For that final third, almost 2/3 of the pitch, very, very good. The final third, and as long the game, the further it went on and on, the more frustrated the players became, the fans became. Even Brendan Rodgers was frustrated on the sideline, and it was that final ball that was rushed. To be, they were getting into very, very good position, but at times they were rushing it. Just a little bit more composure on the ball, maybe pick somebody out. They try to get, John talked about cutbacks, they try to get some penetrating passes, but invariably they were cut out also. Yes, they had big chances. Listen, they hit the crossbar twice, they had headers that probably Johnny Kenny should have scored one of those headers, there's no question about it. He got into very, very good positions, but you've got to hit the target and make the goalkeeper make that big save, and he didn't do that. So that's where they're at. The intensity was good, they played well, but they've got to get back to creating and scoring those chances and blowing teams away when you have that amount of possession.
We'll hear, Billy, from both managers. David Gray's got to be delighted about that, because he spoke before the game about his frustration at some of the soft goals they've been losing this season.
Yeah, but I think you've got to acknowledge you're going away to the champions' home ground and you're going to be forced back. And the bit that's been missing from Hibs probably this season is their defensive responsibilities and have leaked goals, so he will be absolutely delighted with the way they've defended, although they created big chances. Celtic, Hibs would have expected that, but at times they defended well on top of that. And if you put that together, because they're scoring goals for the rest of the season where they get it right defensively and they keep scoring their goals, they could go on a run like they did last season.
We'll cross to Fair Park for the team news in a few minutes' time ahead of that 5:45 kick-off. But let's just round things up for the 3 o'clock games today. Hearts were at home to Falkirk, Alan Preston. It was a terrific performance from Derek McInnes's team.
It was very, very good. They were excellent, and not many fans left when the final whistle went. It was a comfortable victory for them this afternoon. Falkirk probably played into their own hands and made their own mistakes, which gave Hearts the goals, but the goals were brilliant. Kizaridis, 22 minutes, actually smashes one in the top corner. He was excellent on the day. A constant threat down that left hand side. Although he's right footed, but he can go down either wing. It was brilliant. Then Lawrence Shanklin became the SPFL's top goal scorer with 163 goals when he scored in the 41st minute. He just out-muscled the Falkirk player at the edge of the box and then unleashed an unstoppable shot for 25 yards, Kenny, into the bottom corner, beating an excellent Scott Bain, who for me was their man of the match. Then it was 3-0, 3 minutes in the second half. Kizaridis corner, Halkett with a header, given Bain absolutely no chance. Hearts then made changes. They did. I suppose looking forward to next week's derby, they took Shanklin off, Braga off, Kizaridis off. They took all these players off that were McEntee, who had been out injured for a couple of weeks and just managed to play today. They took him off as well to give him a rest. So they're going into the derby next week in fine fettle and currently sitting top of the Premiership.
Yeah, we'll
Hearts 3.
Sorry, Al. Yeah, we'll go through the table in just a couple of minutes' time, Billy. But so many options right now for Derek McInnes. He's putting together a really strong squad, isn't he?
Yeah, he's that type of manager where he goes to a club and realises. Remember, he was labelled quite a defensive coach, but Dell, as the years have gone on, has played 2 strikers up front, found formulas that's going to give you those formation changes you're talking about, and still be solid defensively and certainly a threat going forward. And I've got all of that at Hearts.
Just, are we allowed another sport on this programme? Golf?
Not rugby anyway.
Well, Bob McIntyre has just won a point for Europe.
Fantastic.
Along with Victor Hovland. They've beaten the world number 1, Scotty Scheffler, and the world
Scheffler's
number 3,
having a nightmare,
Russell Henley. So that's. I mean, that is Europe 8.5 to 3.5.
Long mate.
So Bob has done it.
Yeah, and you know what? And they're doing that in among a heck of a lot of heckling, and when they're on their.
To put it mildly.
Yeah, it's been quite incredible stuff out there. So good to hear that Bob McIntyre has got a point for Team Europe in the Ryder Cup today. Just before we move on, Billy, in terms of Falkirk, this has been the thing for Falkirk this season. We love their style of play. We know the job John McGlynn is doing there, but defensively they need to tighten up, don't they?
Yeah, or make a couple of signings as well once the next window comes along. He's very loyal, isn't he, to his players, and he's taking them right through the divisions, as Alan was touching on. They've got something about them. We saw it midweek. We talked about it, so that's going to stand them in good stead. But they certainly have to stop leaking goals in the Premier League, and if they do that, I still think they'll stay up. I think they've got that much about the club, the spirit about the club. You see the fan base with the season ticket holders, so they've got a lot going for them. Just have to shore up a little bit.
I'm not sure many people would have predicted the scoreline at Tannadice this afternoon. Dundee United at home to Kilmarnock there for us. Rory Loy.
A really, really strong away performance from Kilmarnock. Stuart Kettle will be absolutely delighted, so he will. Dundee United started relatively well in the early stages. Dolchek had a chance early on, however it was saved. 26 minutes in, and Polworth, Watson and Anderson with some lovely one-touch football. The ball did find its way to Anderson. He took a touch, he shuffled his feet, and he's finished low, right-footed across Kucherenko into the bottom corner for 1-0 Kilmarnock. Rest of the half, Dolchek, Sapsford and Savelge all had half chances to get United on the scoreboard. However, none of them were able to convert, so it was 1-0 to the visitors at half time. Into the second half, and Watson straight away showed Kilmarnock's intent going into the second half with some lovely footwork in the middle of the pitch and a driving run which saw his shot saved by Kucherenko. On 56 minutes, however, Dominic Thompson, who was excellent throughout, crossed from the left hand side to the back post, and Dees thought his header had been kept out by a flying Kucherenko. However, the ball football was adjudged to have crossed the line for 2-0 to Kilmarnock. Anderson, Watson, Watkins and Dackers all with opportunities for 3 before Dundee United were handed a lifeline when Stevenson was brought down by Strycek in the Kilmarnock goal. Up steps Satsford, who compounded Dundee United's misery by missing low to his left-hand side to Strycek's right, who saved, pushed it out for a corner. No more opportunities after that, other than Watkins to miss a great chance to make it 3 again. 2-0 Kilmarnock, it finished.
Yeah, Billy, we've got all the games going into the studio here, and United were poor this afternoon, but a whole lot of praise has to go to Stuart Kettle and his team. That was a really good all-round performance today.
So impressive, especially what's been thrown at them with their away form. Solid. But I think the thing that impressed me the most was how they grew throughout the game, but their movement, their one-touch passing, 1 and 2 touch, the chances created, the way the goals were taken, they ran out comfortable winners. Whether Dundee United were a bit tired from midweek, no excuse. Kilmarnock I thought they were sensational on the day, Kenny.
And looking at the game in Paisley, St Mirren at home to Dundee. Let's hear from Chris Doolan. Chris, a 1-0 victory for the home side there, but it looked fairly comfortable.
Yeah, St Mirren won, Dundee 0, and you couldn't say anything other than a St Mirren victory today. On the balance of the game, they were better composed, they created better chances, they looked a bigger threat. And while still being very, very strong defensively, and even when you take the first half into context, guys like Gogic coming up from the back and striking from distance, Idowu has strikes from distance. They were showing their intent early doors in the game that they were going to put the ball as close to that goal as many times as they could, and eventually something was going to fall. It almost went in 27 minutes when the two big strikers, who were a real handful, Mandron and a younger, they combined. Mandron flicked on and a younger ran on his left foot, and he hit a left foot drive across the grass, but the goalkeeper got down to his left hand post and turned it round the post to keep it at 0-0. But again, that intent was there. They did make the breakthrough in 39 minutes. A fantastic goal from Phillips. Killian Phillips was superb all day. Idowu gets in the box, they cut it back from the byline and about 16 yards out, a left-footed drive from Phillips into that bottom corner to get them half-time deservedly in front. And then the second half was pretty much of the same. They set the tempo of the second half. Liam Dornley got a shot away after 55 minutes after the two big strikers combined inside the box and laid it back, and his shot was over the bar, but it showed that intent again. Then a big chance on 60 minutes. Richardson received a big switch of play from Freckleton, and he drove a fantastic ball across the 6-yard box, but there was no takers. But Dundee failed to really create too much all the way to the end of the game. They were restricted to some shots from distance. Ethan Hamilton had a couple of fantastic strikes, but straight at the goalkeeper, easily dealt with, and probably summed up Dundee's performance here. But a real strong performance from St Mirren. Full time here at the Smiza Stadium. St Mirren 1, Dundee 0.
Thank you to Chris Doolan, Tom English alongside myself and Billy here in the studio. Tom, it was a very comfortable victory, as Chris was saying there, for the home side. Indeed, without Simon Murray, he was ill today, and whether that would have been any different or not if he had played. And I've just seen with the game coming in there and hearing Chris's comments, I think the sort of cult hero, the fans' favourite in recent times, has been Gogic. I think Killian Phillips is fast becoming the new one.
Yeah, like he's a very, very influential player for them. He's a very consistent player. I know the St Mirren fans love him, and he's a kind of game breaker at times. He's I'd say. I mean, I've heard Stephen Robinson talking about him before, like very coachable. This thing that they say, very coach, like very keen to learn, very good listener, picks things up quickly, and a leader. And I think that's what the kind of bedrock of Stephen Robinson's teams are. They're big, they're physical, they're powerful, but they're all leaders. There are a lot of leaders in there as well, a lot of characters, a lot of tough guys who'll fight to the last whistle. And I think that it's very much in the spirit of the manager. A lot of people will say they don't like watching St Mirren play, the style of play. I admire what they're doing. It's okay, sometimes it mightn't be pretty on the eye, but I think Stephen Robinson track record in transfer market is good, and his position in the table is very good. So I think he's done an outstanding job.
They're up to where they probably deserve to be this season. I think you can say A few teams have had a few good results here and there. I think St Mirren have been so consistent in what they do, and they're up to third now, and it's no surprise.
Yeah, and of course a League Cup semi-final to look forward to at the beginning of November. A lot of excitement around that. I can see Brendan Rodgers on a screen. We'll hear from him just shortly. We'll hear from the managers at Fir Park. We'll get the team news there.